Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lanka, I'm a Vedic astrologer, and today I'm again with Ashwin again. Welcome, Ashwin, and we are going to be discussing Simha Sankranti, that is Leo, Surya's ingress in the Leo sign. So it's a very important video because we're heading to lunar eclipse also in this particular zodiac, and it's a very, very powerful. From the 17th today, when we are making this video live, we are going to be getting this sun ingress in the Leo sign. Welcome, Ashwin.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for making time because, it's a very long video. And as everybody knows, he's teaching. So he's also been awake the whole night long. I have been celebrating Janmashtami and did the live session weeklies. So we have it's like a tireless working that we are going through, I think, and right here to serve you all. Isn't it, Ashwin?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's part of the reason why I like joining you is because we go back to 2018 and
Right.
possibly even 17. I don't know. And
17.
one of the things that I've always admired is the consistency that you have maintained in giving back to the audience. So I think it's a privilege for me to kind of join you and be part of this monthly giving without having any expectations as it is. So it's a path where we actually try and give back to the community. So I really enjoy doing this, and we are expecting all this to be a lot more interactive with live sessions.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely. I was about to say that you can put in your questions, and we'll be doing first the global impacts. I'll share with you the solar ingress chart of India, and then we'll discuss how the month is going to unfold from 17th August till the 17th September. Me and Ashwin will be taking into account the global geopolitical, everything, all those kinds of events, and then we'll be going into the basics like the eclipses and the festivities that we have. We have Pitru Paksh also, and then we'll be taking up the remedies as well as the nakshatras. Sun will be ingressing as well. And lastly would be the 12 sign readings. And once, all the information, if you don't want, so definitely you can just switch after the video gets uploaded to your sign-wise reading also. Okay. So Ashwin, what should we do? Should we just start with the okay, I'll share the screen first.
yeah.
So this is the solar ingress chart, Delhi, India time. I've already put it up. And it's a sun is, if you can see, sun is at 0 degrees on this day, it is at 1:57. So we actually are right now at the same time in India. It's 13:56. And can you see it is 13:57? I think it's AM, right? We're talking about PM right now.
Yes.
So it happened already. So this is the time, Delhi, India time. Chennai must be here and there a bit different time zone. So yeah. So Ashwin, Gemini rising, when we, talk about the solar ingress chart of India, Delhi.
So which I like.
Yeah.
Because first thing is two natural benefics are placed in the rising sign or in the first house, which straight away gives an impact that this is going to be a reasonably positive period than the other months. So, and I think just to kind of circle back to whatever we spoke in the Aries ingress or Taurus ingress, we have consistently been saying that there is going to be issues related to foreign policy or how India is going to be treated and how India is going to respond back. In the past month, Mr. Modi kind of showed iron fist to the 50% tariff of United States, and he went back to China, and now it's this axis of China, India, Russia, which is very crucial. But don't expect anything to be very permanent or something like that, because there is no permanent friend or permanent enemy. It is always going to be enlightened self-interest. So for now, it is beneficial for us to have this relationship with Russia because we get cheap oil. But historically, India and Russia have a very good relationship because since independent India, since starting with Mr. Nehru until now, we have had reasonably good relationships with Russia. And I think Mr. Modi's government is basically following through that, but still kind of tightening the grip as far as the relationship with Russia is concerned. And it is good that, at least from a geopolitical perspective, it is good that India is not going down and being submissive for these tariffs with the United States. Part of the reason being we have to take this example from Russia because uh, when Russia was sanctioned in 2022, when Ukraine war began, most Western nations sanctioned Russia, and 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 that was a very opportunistic moment for Russia because Russian President Vladimir Putin tried to diversify his exports, and also he improved his foreign policy and trade policy as far as his relationship with the foreign nations are concerned. So he looked beyond the US and dollars. So he that was an alternate that was born because he was sanctioned or his country was sanctioned. So with 50% tariffs on India, it is actually an opportunity where India is going to find alternatives. So now India has reached to China. But what Mr. Modi's government has done over the past 11 or 12 years is that we have kind of raised our voice in the global south and we have a lot of respect. So the trade that is happening with the global south and India is going to increase over the coming period. And we will see a lot of increase or talks that will be going on by this particular phase as well. Like because Rahu is there in the ninth house of Aquarius. So Rahu basically indicates unexpected shifts or changes that we can expect as far as foreign policy is concerned. But one thing we need to note is that the lord of that ninth house, Saturn, is retrograde in the 10th house and it is squaring Jupiter. Although it's not a very tight square, it's a whole sign square. So communication, Gemini, Jupiter ruling Saturn, it's placed in the sign of Gemini, which indicates communication. So there is going to be a lot of communication back and forth scenarios. So there is every chance that we will go back to this global south and increase our trade exports in such a way that we will balance whatever is going to be lost because of the 50% tariff in America. And more importantly, some people don't understand and they think that tariff is actually bad for India, but it is actually bad for America because American people will have to pay extra money to purchase a product that is exported from India. So what India is going to really face is because just that they lose some of the customers that buy Indian products. But imagine what is happening. So there is a lot of taxes on Indian cars these days. So after this engine change B6 or BS6, so the tax rate of buying a car has increased. But do we actually stop buying cars? I know it has slumped a little bit, but still people buy cars. So someone bought a car for 28 lakhs and the tax was around 12 lakhs. That's insane. But still people go and buy cars. So, and we are not exporting cars. So the idea is people will continue to buy our products despite the fact that price will increase, and it's not going to kind of cause as much as harm to Indian exports as Trump might think, because Mr. Modi is very aware of all these facts that the common man always kind of goes for his products, essentials or whatever they need. So there is every chance that we have a deadline until August 27th to kind of revisit or whatever the agreement is there with these tariffs. But there are chances where this might actually revamp, or on the other hand, India is going to strengthen its ties with the global south. So another caution that I would try to make is we should not expect much from China as far as foreign policy is concerned. But Rahu in the ninth house is most certainly going to help in terms of what is going to happen. And because Rahu is also placed in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which indicates the beginning of transformation, right? So there is a major revamp or recalibration of foreign policy that will happen in India, which is going to be good and not necessarily bad. But the problem is that most Indian common public will not understand that, and there will be a lot of outrage and criticism and challenges that come up, because Saturn in the 10th house of Pisces retrograde with very poor dignity, it indicates that there is some form of criticism or some kind of crunch that the government will receive at this point. But I think we all need to be patient. Saturn indicates patience. And fourth house, Mars, fourth house indicates the general well-being of people and how people are going to react. And Mars is there in the fourth house and directly opposing the 10th house of administration. So there is going to be conflict between people and the government. People are not going to necessarily like what the government is doing. But imagine, like, Saturn is this force that kind of nudges Mars. So Mars likes speed, but Saturn likes slowness. So Mars wants to get going. So people want to move faster, but Saturn is not allowing the Mars to kind of move quickly, which indicates that despite the fact that we all want to kind of move forward, something is kind of stopping us from the administrative level or the government level. And Saturn's opposition is all about kind of perfecting things, and things will change when the right time arrives. And we have to wait until Saturn turns direct or Mars enters Libra, which will make things much better as far as our acceptance with the governmental policies are concerned. So, again, if you're not happy with something, just hold off, because things will be kind of heading towards betterment towards the end. And still, we have full 3 more years, or at least 2.5 years with this government, and things are changing now. Always remember that the first year after the election will always be enthusiastic, and the next 3 years will see a little bit of a slump in performance, and the final year will always take off. So uh, remember that we are kind of preparing for the best that might arrive sometime in 2028. So um, it is a little frustrating time as citizens of India, because Mars is there in the fourth house. Mars is the lord of the sixth house. It's placed in the fourth house, so there will be some challenges. Travel very light, and be safe in your travels, and that is important with Mars in the fourth house. And Sun and Ketu in the third house. Sun falling in the nodal axis, despite the fact that Sun is uh, dignified in Leo. Sun is in its own sign with a lot of domicile strength, but still there is this nodal axis which adds this element of imbalance. So any third house is the house of initiative. So and also imports, and ninth house is exports. So there is this major imbalance between imports and exports, and Sun as the natural significator of administration is going to come there and try and balance this imports and exports. So I mean, balancing is like in India's balance of payments of deficit and surplus will take a lot of time to kind of tilt the other way. But I think over a period of time, we have reduced the deficit, which itself is a good thing. And this particular period will be very good for reducing the deficit. And I'm pretty sure government will take necessary actions concerning that. And on the other hand, Sun is also in Maga Nakshatra, and Maga indicates going back to the roots and working with the ancestral practice. So, in terms of talking about ancestral practice, it might be useful for the government to go back and see what the other governments did, be it Congress government or any other government. But it is better to kind of go and take back references from other governments and see how people handle such scenarios, to kind of have better conclusions in terms of decision making. I think that will be a good idea, and I think government is going to do that to see what was done in the past and then take references from the past and try and act in the future. And Mercury in the second house, the lord of the fourth, and the first house in the second house. Financially, I think this is going to be a reasonably good period. In and Mercury is also placed in Pushya Nakshatra, which indicates nourishment, and it's ruled by Brihaspati. The deity of Pusha is Brihaspati. So there is this benefic element that is involved with Mercury, although Mercury performs poorly in Cancer. So there is going to be this emotional reset or recalibration as far as the financial situation is concerned. And this is from an economic point of view, not for personal astrology. So, so a lot of microeconomic aspects will come into picture and not the macroeconomic aspects. When I talk about microeconomic aspects, it's about how the economic policy decisions affect a common man. So those things will kind of come into limelight, and the government will start working on those things, and we will start to kind of feel some effects. And especially this particular month, being this important month for tax filing and all those things, September is the deadline for all of us in India. So it naturally
Yes.
indicates the, all this financial matters where people try to save money and, and pay minimal taxes as much as possible. So it again kind of indicates this stress on financial aspects with the Lord of the Rising sign in the second house, and the moon placed, the ruler of the sign is placed in the 12th house in Kritika, which indicates some form of rational uh, movement or progress as far as financial matters are concerned. But since moon is placed in the 12th house, we won't see the benefits immediately, and again we'll go back to kind of criticizing the government, but things will overall be a little greener as we move and make some progress. So coming to the first house, Jupiter, the lord of the 10th house, is in the first house. Jupiter has no dignity, but Jupiter has directional strength, which makes Jupiter pretty strong in the first house of Gemini, which kind of puts the nation and the leader at, at a reasonably good position. So the stature of India, because of not budging to the United States' tariff, is putting India in a very respectable position. Although the natural anti-Indian media and the related nations will never be happy with a strong India. So, but still, this particular chart indicates India is quite strong because Venus and Jupiter, two benefics, are placed in the first house. Although Venus rules the 12th house, Venus also rules the fifth house of creativity, intelligence, and also power, rank, recognition. So, creativity, intelligence, let's keep it apart, but power, rank, recognition, and Venus is placed in the first house with Jupiter. And that is a very good sign. And Jupiter is the lord of the 10th house, and Venus is the exaltation ruler of the 10th house. So a lot of 10th house matters relating to administration and the prowess of the leadership will come forward during this period. Despite the fact that Sun, the natural significator of the king, placed in the third house, we will see the the Indian Prime Minister making inroads with many other countries trying to kind of balance this 50% tariff. And I still feel it's going to be the theme of this month, at least for the first 10 or 15 days. And when the sun approaches the 14 or 15 degree mark, uh, things will intensify, and it will keep continuing to intensify as the sun approaches Ketu in good proximity. So I think overall it's a good period, although it comes with little bit of slight setbacks and frustrations. But overall, I think it's a good period. So one thing I would suggest is, uh, mishaps, accidents, or something like that might happen because of Mars in the fourth house. But it's just a caution. No need to kind of panic or something like that. With that, I think, that is basically my thoughts on from the mundane perspective.
Thank you, Ashwin. It was a wonderful analysis, I would say. You were bang on, actually. This time you really predicted so well everything. And I think you have been predicting a lot, many things in the previous transit also of Surya. You mentioned so many things that happened, and people can just refer to those also. And I have made a checklist, which I'm going to be sharing with you all. As to what exactly is going to happen. So that is, the USP. I want to share everything, whatever I can, the maximum. So Simha Sankranti, we call it Sun's ingress in Leo, and it's going to be conjunct Ketu. And I'm going to be sharing the dates also in this slide. And it's a PDF basically. So Sun transits its own zone, and the nakshatras being Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni. And it's going to be conjunct Ketu, and it's a total solar eclipse, Leo Aquarius axis. And I'll be giving you the dates also. Here are the dates. So these, you can make a note, you can take a screenshot of the same. All the dates are here. All the nakshatra transit dates are also here. So this will definitely help you. Now, on the global plane, I'm going to be sharing one by one what exactly is it that we will be going through. Like what Ashwin has said is definitely amazing. I'm going to be sharing only a few things which are the key things, like Magha, Magha Nakshatra 17 to the 29th, sun is going to be in the Magha Nakshatra. So the sun will ignite the kingship. Also, people are dreading that sun will be in Magha Nakshatra, will be in Ketu's, will conjunct Ketu. Always remember that Ketu is headless. Wherever Ketu sits, with whichsoever planet he sits, will get the head of that planet. Okay. So if it is sun, remember that whosoever is making wrong decisions will start making good decisions now, right decisions now. Because Mercury is also going to be ingressing this zone on the 30th of August. It's going to be joining the sun and Ketu on the 30th August. Until the 15th September, it's going to be there. So everybody will become logical, especially the level-headed people or the leaders, or you can say the politicians, whosoever, has been doing, what I'm talking about. So it is definitely going to get some relief, especially with the Magha Nakshatra also. Magha is the throne, So it is going to be, giving some kind of ignition to kingship, reputation, national pride, uniformed services, heritage institutions. So ego deflation of the powerful. There can be some resignations which can happen. Some people might just step down, from their roles, or kingmaker behind the curtain, not in the limelight. I'm giving only generic view. I'm not saying that specifically which country, from where. I'm not giving anything of that sort. But for sure, in Purva Falguni Nakshatra, when this happens from 29th August to 12th September, let me just make it a little bigger so that you can see it better. So, 29th August to the 12th September is going to be Purva Falguni transit of Surya. So arts, leisure, and celebrity brings luxury, entertainment, and there can be some surges in the film industry, glam industry also. But this will expose the hollow glamour. Okay. Also, hollow astrologers. Okay. Because it's Sun Ketu after all. So PR crisis, abrupt or cancellations can happen. Censorship debates can happen. Then it is also Uttara Falguni transit from the 12th of September to 17th September. Sun is going to be in Uttara Falguni. And this is in the Leo portion. I'm not talking about the Virgo portion right now. So treaty rewrites, mergers, cabinet reshuffles with eclipse season building documents get amended, not finalized. Okay, so if you're thinking that the tariff, etc., is going to finalize this time, it is going to take time. This is definitely going to be now converging in the mid or late Leo, maybe September end, maybe something will happen because Sun will be in Virgo sign. So as regards to the mundane predictions, nations, markets, weather, incidents, etc., I'm going to be sharing my, some insights on the same also. So governance and politics wise, power visibility versus spiritual audit. Sun is at home. It's the Leo that wants display. Okay. Now Ketu wants detachment. Together they produce image shedding. Okay. Photo ops with fewer words, sudden no comments, and leaders adopting monkish optics, noble peace, this, that, I want this, all that is already happening.
The drama of Nobel Peace is already happening. And most people don't understand that it's based on a pure lie.
Exactly. So that's what, and see, you must also see that there will be salary cuts because it is the 8th house from the 10th where this is happening. From the 10th is the house of karma, profession. So this is in the natural zodiac. If you see, this is the 5th house, which is 8th from the 10th. So salary cuts, changes, layoffs will happen even more. Okay. So it's like, travel austerity, palace mansion openings to the public because they want to generate funds. Okay, so this can also happen. Magha ancestral line can trigger succession, conversation, or constitutional chatter in monarchic states. In democracies, expect legal trials, investigations in old decisions, or family-linked trust. Now, eclipses, we have two eclipses, but the one which is the lunar eclipse, it's in the this this axis, Leo Aquarius axis. So now this is important, mass sentiments versus elite image, populist rallies, organized labor, online swarm actions peak around the full moon time. Okay, 21st is a partial solar eclipse, but sun will be in Virgo sign. So technocratic fixes, audits, civil service directives, not a Leo drama, but a Virgo cleanup. Now, one more thing I wanted to share with you is that when we are doing the readings for you all in the 12 sign readings, I will be incorporating the eclipses also. We both will be discussing what can be the impact of eclipses also. Okay, at least the first eclipse, which is on the 7th, 8th, that is more important. So industries that can be the called the winners would be entertainment, sports, luxury, retail, gaming, OTT platforms because of Purva Falguni transit also. Celebrities and influencers, there can be some reputation reversals, speculative froth, ego-driven CEO directions or decisions. Policy contract weeks would be late August or mid-September. So expect redrafts more than final sign-offs, because now it will be in Uttara Falguni. Now sun will be triple the sun, because sun will be in Leo sign, then in Uttara Falguni its own nakshatra also. So that is towards the mid of September, I would say. Okay, so agriculture and FMCG in India on the Pitori Amavasya, which is on the 22nd, when we are making this video, it's in this month only. Onam will align with the monsoon consumption. So food, grain, dairy, festival demand and counters pop locally, while logistics remain weather dependent. Volatility windows in the markets, traders sketch I'm giving you. So the thin liquidity, avoid leverage between 22nd to 23rd and 5th to the 9th. There can be some whipsaws that we can see also. Avoid chasing gaps. September 10th to the 12th, they will be exactly conjunct. Can you see? I mentioned 10th, 11th. 12th also we can consider. So peak ego shedding, policy editing window, this is that. And leadership headlines and sharp rotations. Okay, 21st solar eclipse is going to be heading to algorithm hiccups, data latency issues around open and fade panic. Monsoon core India plus Leo fire. Okay, flooding, waterlogging continue in some belts, yet wildfire, heat-driven incidents will also be there in the exteriors, maybe, cyclones, hurricanes, also, in and around September 10th. So coastal preparedness is also important. Port insurance, evacuation drills should be emphasized across the Atlantic basin. Incidents like, airport tarmac fires, stadium venue stampedes. I mentioned that earlier also, because we are heading to, in my monthlies, I mentioned in August monthlies that, stampede happened soon after that. 2 days later, I heard that there was a stampede. So we witnessed this, these incidents more in India, because, we have those gatherings, and wherever the stadium is, you be careful, when you're going there for any game or sports activity or sports, of course, event. And also, we are heading to Ganesha Chaturthi also. And in Mumbai, Maharashtra especially, it's really, really, it's I will not say that it's bad, but it is like too many people swarm together. So we have to be careful of the stampede in and around Ganesha Chaturthi also. So that is what. And data center outages can happen when sun enters Virgo sign and there is an eclipse also. So eclipses are very important, because Rahu Ketu are not going to be changing signs. No, they're going to be in Leo Aquarius axis. Sun will be changing signs when it is the next eclipse in the that is the solar eclipse in the Virgo sign. So See, I've written small, if you can see, Pithori Amavasya. This is like maternal vows, welfare initiatives. Now, these are the do's that you can perform during these time periods. So it is good for grain offerings, good day for welfare announcements to women, children, like that. Onam, we have Onam on the 4th and the 5th, so economic uplift in Kerala's retail tourism. Watch for heavy footfall related to safety advisories, So that is what. And Pitru Paksh is starting. You can see it starts from the 8th of September. So it is going to be for this fortnight is very, very powerful fortnight. And now Sun is also going to be in the Leo sign. So this is, and that is why it is there. But this time it is with Ketu. So policy communiques about archives, genealogy, and restitution, land records fit the spirit of this fortnight. Okay. Now, this is what is, I wanted to share, and we have Kanya Sankranti then, this is what. And we do have risk windows I've mentioned here. So you please make a note of this also, okay? Avoid major launches, surgeries. As it is, Ashwin, we are Indians, so you know that, being from that background, I have never seen us performing any rituals or any good things, purchase of anything, property, clothes, new things during the Pitru Paksh. The wheel is very thin between us and the ancestors, and this Pitru Paksh is very powerful any which ways, because we are heading to eclipses also in and around this time period. So we should, if you want to buy anything, purchase anything, lay foundation to your building, purchase of property, etc., do it before the 7th of September, please. Okay.
I think it's like you mentioned about this Pitru Paksh, that is very, very crucial. And if, like, I don't know if we have...
No worries. We do like this, no? So it comes off.
Got disconnected. Am I audible now?
Yeah. You're audible.
So, but the sun in Leo, and but Pitru Paksh will happen much later. So, but still, one of the reasons why this is very important is because when sun is in Maga Nakshatra, it's important for us to prepare for this period. And Rig Veda says that Maga Nakshatra is the nakshatra of ancestors. So it indicates Pitris. Pitris are the deities, the ancestral fathers. So whenever Maga is strong, and now Sun is actually transiting Maga, so there is usually a deep awareness or sense of connectivity with our lineage. So it's not just about the family pride, but I think it's about kind of feeling rooted and trying to feel belonged to where we are. And we are not greater than anyone, but we are just trying to go back and see our connection with our lineage and family. So and there is this responsibility of honoring the past and honoring the departed. So that is why we need to keep offering something to our ancestors during this time. So it is good if we kind of do a small Agni or fire ritual, and trying to, the idea is to try and invite the Pitris to our place. And it's, the belief is that they come and sit there and they accept our offerings, and return, and in return the descendants or the ancestors bless us with strength, stability, and also protection. And this is not something that I'm just throwing out of the thin air. This is mentioned in Rig Veda, in the chapters related to Pitris. So and Rig Veda also mentions that we need to sit and do all these rituals in possibly a grass, rooted ground or something like that. So, which means that Pitris will come and sit on that grass, and they will accept our offerings. We should be very connected to the elements. So we sit in the grass so that we are sitting on the ground, and we are performing this ritual with fire, and we offer water, and also we are kind of in this space air is there as an element, and space, the Akash, ethers, and that also is present. So in the presence and the witness of all these 5 elements, when we perform something out of pure devotion, it is believed that the ancestors will come and sit and accept our offerings and bless us with strength and all those things. So try to kind of do at least once during those 15 days, and try to honor your ancestors, and it's not with the expectation that something good will happen, but it is with the gratitude that like we have been given this lifetime, and we are some way kind of inheriting their traits or qualities, or even material wealth or something like that. So just with a view of gratitude.
Amazing. I always, say that, you should, even if your parents are alive, it's said that, you can't do it, if your parents are alive. But I feel that you're just not killing them. It's just that you're just honoring your ancestors. So everybody should perform the ritual, simply take a little bit of sesame seeds, black sesame, add it in the water in a vessel, and then just pour it to the sun in the morning, or you can just do it on any plant and say that thank you, for giving me this life, and whatever hardships I'm going through, just help me sail through that. That's a simple prayer that I do, and no mantra, nothing big, you have to do.
This is
Simple
enough.
ritual. So it's enough.
It's just being there in presence of
Yes.
5 elements of the earth and offering
Yes.
something.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's start with the readings. Ashwin, you want to take up first, or you want me to take up first, as you say?
You take up first. Ladies go first.
Oh, okay. So we are going to be doing it as per ascendant moon. Everyone knows that I take up Dasha sign also. So do take Dasha into account, because Dasha shows the Disha. So when you, let me explain a little on this, that, what you have to do is, on the Drik Panchang, you can just put up your chart and it's written Vimshotri Dasha. So when you see the Vimshotri Dasha, suppose you are in Saturn Dasha and Saturn is posited in Libra sign, in your natal chart, in your birth chart. So make Libra your ascendant or the first house, irrespective of your Lagna or moon. So that will help you, that this dasha is giving me what all, and how the grahas are or planets are positioned from that particular zone. In transit, of course, this transit is going to be in the 11th house from Libra. So it is going to be a good transit. For example, so then comes this transit. Okay. So that's something that I use every time. So I keep telling everybody to check from there as well, Ashwin. So for Aries natives, this transit is happening in your 5th house, and there is an eclipse also, which I'll be covering, of the 7th, 8th, 7th. That is going to be in the Leo and Aquarius axis. So 5th house is creativity, children, speculation. So this can reclaim your stage presence, teach, perform, lead. Okay. And romance will rekindle if it is the Purva Falguni we are talking about. I'm going through the nakshatras also. So romance will rekindle, but avoid ego games, because it's the 5th house. And signing of scripts, brand deals, putting your, promoting yourself, all that you can do. But sunset clauses, like in the evening, if you do it, it is not going to materialize. So do it in the morning time only. Be careful of over speculation near 7 to the 12th. Channel fire into art, and also offer saffron, rice pudding, that is kheer, to children, or arts charity on Sundays till September 17th. Now, eclipse is also happening here. So speculation versus steady gains, romance versus networks, children versus crowds. Release vanity pics, performance anxiety, friend tips in the market. Don't just blindly follow the market, that trends, and start doing it. Oh, this one is doing, my friend is doing, so let me do it as well. Who truly champions your talent? Child, you should just be aware of that. Child's real need, schedule, tutor, boundaries, all that you have to see. Now, solar eclipse is going to be in the 6th house. So maybe, next time when we are closer to that, I will discuss that as well. Okay. So this is the theme. And the disposition of Lord is there. It is making it stronger. Leader, if you are at a leadership role, or you are at an authority, now you'll be making good decisions. Romance wise, you have to be a little careful. There can be some arguments that you can go through. Health wise, this is a good placement. Just take care of your gut and heart region. Okay, over to you, Ashwin.
Sorry. Again, for Aries, it's the fifth house, as you mentioned. So it ignites the house of creativity, children, and also from a financial perspective, I think speculation is one of those things. And because of the fact that Ketu is also placed in the fifth house with the sun, this is not a good time to speculate, because Ketu is not the planet of speculation, but Rahu is. So it's important that we kind of take note of that and do not engage in any form of speculation. And creativity, if you have any creative ideas, or if you have any projects that are kind of taking over at this point, with sun in conjunction with Ketu, it is important that we go back to the basics and try to refine our path, or refine that particular creative project that we are doing, so that we kind of leave back what is not necessary and take only what is needed in terms of moving forward. So and then with the sun in Maga Nakshatra in the fifth house, it indicates that we have to go back to our children, and children roots, in the sense our family is also our root. So go back to children and do whatever needs to be done, and spend a lot of time with them. That is what is necessary, because Ketu again in the fifth house indicates that we are spending less time with children. If you're a parent, spending less time with the children, and sun is kind of coming there to throw some light on the fact that what we need to do for our children. So they need direction, they need support, and they also need care. So I think that is one of those important things. And if you have been trying to kind of do some creative projects in terms of expressing yourself as an artist or something like that, I think again now is a very good period, because you will be sharpening the blade. So Ketu kind of helps us filter whatever is not necessary. So sharpening and fine tuning the skills, and portraying yourself in ways that helps you to express more creatively is something that this particular period indicates. So overall, I think this is a good period, except that we should be careful about money and resources, because of Saturn's placement in the 12th house, and also Ketu in the 5th house. So Rahu in the 11th house can indicate some kind of illusion, like we may think that there is material gains or benefits somewhere, but it might not be the case, because sun is directly opposing Rahu. So what we think is there may not necessarily be there. So we need to be very careful about where we park our money, and all those things. And Venus is also placed in the 3rd house with Jupiter, which rules the 12th house. So there is chances for expenses, or unexpected expense, but I think it might be a good expense, not necessarily a bad expense. It might kind of make you happy or something, but still be aware of the fact that something is coming up. Maybe you're purchasing a new TV, or some kind of a new thing to
Something to do with
yourself.
entertainment, huh?
Yes, entertainment, and also kind of consumption of information. So yeah, I think overall it's a reasonably good period for uh, Aries rising natives. Mars, the lord of the rising sign, is placed in the 6th house. Although first ruler in the 6th house can be a little challenging, but Mars is a natural malefic, and it does well in Upachaya, like 3, 6, 10, 11.
Yes.
So there is this sense of victory, or emerging victory, out of whatever we are doing. So focus on the lunations, the new moon and the full moon, and act accordingly, based on that. So I think overall it's a decent period for Aries.
And don't pressurize your children, study.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
No
Because
dominance.
that can also happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So we move on to Taurus.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Taurus, this is the transit which is going to be taking place in your 4th house, and is going to be giving you, because it's the 4th house transit, so home environment is the motherland, inner security. That's the theme of this Sun Ketu combination here. So hybrid remote efficiency will increase. It's good if you are relocating during this time, but avoid the volatile days. I would suggest not to do it on the eclipses time periods and all that, because fourth house is relocating also. Take care of your gut, your mood swings also can happen, and you can be in that damp or mold kind of a mood also. Manage. Also appliances or interior costs. Maybe, you're going to be renovating your place. Avoid guilt tripping also. Property papers, just scan them well. If you are at an authority, your inheritance and all that you're working through, so you have to recheck your papers also. Secure your titles and then beautify your place accordingly, and if it's a joint thing, so you have to take the permission or take the consent of your siblings also. And as regards to children, this is going to be giving some emotional routines, safety routines for kids, which is very essential. Do memory work with elders, and don't overshare domestic life online, basically, and also skin related, your pets, if you have pets, so take care of their skin related issues. And then, we are heading to eclipse also in this zone. So in the Kendra, when the eclipses are, so it is like going to be giving some turmoil to your family, or hidden family sentiment may surface, or bosses may just, stance flips, or maybe there will be some decor for show to others, showing off. That means it's it's not correct. So people pleasing at work might happen. So true price of stability, perhaps a commute or role change is also possible. Now, what exactly I wanted to share was the 3 nakshatras is going to be transiting. The sun is going to be transiting. So ancestral property questions will arise when sun is in Magha nakshatra. I've given the dates in the beginning part. Please do refer that. Declutter altars, or if you have any archives, so just declutter them. In Purva Falguni, the decoration, renovation, all that will be pushed. So don't overspend for showing others, okay? Uttara Falguni will be title deeds, lease renewals, and verify, meds and bounds. Watch for electrical fires and damp or mold. Ensure your appliances also. The upaya that I can give you is plant a shade tree or donate roofing sheets to a shelter, because it's sun in the fourth house, so that's the roof also. If like in Vastu, if you see, it's a roof, so the fourth house is roof, so you can simply just give in charity, make a temple, make a religious place, but the roof is the most important. Somewhere it's shedding water, so just get it constructed. That's what I can say. Over to you, Ashwin.
So for Taurus, it's in the fourth house, which indicates home or roots. More importantly, that sun is in Magha at this point, and also the domestic well-being or the inner security that we all need. So it's more about feeling secured, but also because of Ketu, there is this slight difficulty that we'll go through where it's difficult for us to feel at home. So despite the fact that sun is there, we have all the comforts, something is pestering inside us that makes us feel a little unbelonged somewhere. So sun is basically kind of giving a lot of throw into our emotional apparatus with fourth house being active. So comfort basically gives us strength. So it is important for you to do whatever gives you happiness or comfort. So don't do something that is uncomfortable for you. It will put you in a difficult situation, especially with Ketu there. Just stick to your strengths and do whatever you're comfortable with. And this could be very much related to the family setup, and also the immediate domestic environments, because of the fact that fourth house indicates domestic environment, and fourth house also indicates immovable properties, and which Vanita ji already mentioned, that be very careful about the properties or agreements in many ways. So, and if those things come into focus, just try to make sure that you read everything, and before signing the dotted line, make sure that you have awareness of what is going on the paper and also around you. It's very, very important, because Ketu is there in the fourth house. So I think renovating or decluttering is also mentioned, which is one of the important things. I always like, kind of, whenever this fourth house is active, uh, it's good to kind of reorganize or rearrange our domestic setup. So imagine I'm kind of sitting and working here, and just to kind of revamp or reorganize something, I put up that light in the middle of those two photographs there at the background. Only that the light ended up being too bright, so I don't use it now. Uh, but still, it was a, you know, it
Good
was a,
example.
yeah, but it was it was kind of a liberating change. So I had to sit and plan and do something like that. And when I'm not doing the videos, I use that. So,
Yeah.
but with the video, it's a little too bright. But it's good to kind of have this new setup around us, or try and move one desk from here to there or something like that, just to have this different mood or feeling, or maybe bring in a plant and set up something inside, which kind of rejuvenates our mood in terms of wherever we are sitting. So creating an environment where we can kind of feel at home is very, very important during this period, especially with sun transiting the fourth house. So on the other hand, I already mentioned, like, do what gives comfort. It's not about the physical location and decluttering the physical location, which is very important, but the decluttering should also happen internally. So if you already have, I wrote in my newsletter, uh, and gave some insights as to how we need to move on with the upcoming new moon in Leo. Uh, so so this Mercury is direct now, and Mercury retrograde has given this emotional reset or recalibration as far as our emotional side goes. The memories and baggages that we were carrying for a long time, this was an opportunity to kind of leave that behind and just quickly move forward. And given that Mercury is now direct, and the Moon is also kind of getting into Leo, which
Yeah.
is the sign of initiative. So we have to move forward now. And and for Taurus natives, fourth house, which is an angular house, is a shift or a pivot in terms of our approach towards our goals. And every year is a promise, and every year has a set of promises that gets fulfilled. Some does not. And every lunation, that is every new moon and full moon, is a step or a progress towards the accomplishment of that promise. And this particular phase with sun in the fourth house, it is a good opportunity for Taurus rising natives to have this recalibration and also solid grounding in terms of planning and strategizing, and look forward to the new moon in the sign of Leo, and basically nail the rest of the year. Right. So I think for Leo, for Taurus rising, this is a very, very crucial period with Sun in the fourth house, and more importantly, Sun and Saturn are not in aspects anymore, which
Mhm.
gives a lot more juices for the Sun to kind of perform very well. And decluttering is one of those things. Remove the baggage that we are carrying, be it physical baggage or emotional baggage.
Emotional.
Travel light, and travel in the sense, not necessarily kind of pick up the bag and go somewhere, but internally traveling light helps us focus better. So that is one thing. And be aware of ego clashes at home, because sun can cause all these challenges, especially in the fourth house of home. And Ketu is there is some kind of inherent quotient of egotism. We might not be naturally egotistic people, but because that sun is kind of conjunct Ketu, we feel a little superlative, and we think we know a lot, but the others also know something. So it's important to stay humble and expose our humility rather than not handling things gracefully and questioned during this good period, which is actually better for us. So if you see, Jupiter and Venus are in the second house, Mercury in the third house of communication, Moon is exalted in the first house, Mars is in the fifth house, giving juices for the creative impetus, and it's also in Hasta Nakshatra. So Hasta is about hand and dexterity, giving shape to something when there is none. So you're basically giving shape to our emotional realities that are slowly kind of crumbling because of Saturn in Pisces, and Mars is slowly helping us construct those realities on the other hand. So we are kind of getting ready with uh, with some really good uh, pointers to look forward to as Taurus rising natives. This is a quite exciting period, is what I have to say.
Who can tell better than Ashwin about Taurus?
Yeah.
So, good, very,
Yeah,
very
I
well
have both
done,
my rising
Ashwin.
and moon in Taurus, double
I know.
Taurus. So,
Yes. And that makes them emotional also. So you see, one more thing, I wanted to share was that somebody just mentioned about the breakups and the ex-partner coming back or not and all that stuff. I just wanted to say that Saturn is a cold planet. Okay.
hmm,
And it is in the 8 places away from the Leo sign. Okay. In the Leo sign, which is about relationship, romance, there's a Ketu energy. So if you people are experiencing highs and lows in relationship, the sun will add more fuel to the fire. It will not help you reconcile in the relationship, because this is going to be making you more composed. You will get to know about the person, or maybe you want to understand the relationship better. Okay, it's not going to be like just today we met and tomorrow we are together and then day after we break up. It's not that kind of a situation right now with Saturn in Pisces, and
yeah.
sun entering Leo will actually give you that head that you need to think and then decide whether this relationship really is worth. Also, remember, whenever I tell all my clients, whenever you have a karma with a person and you quit that karma, that is the end of a relationship. So it is both mutual. Ending the relationship means ending of karma. Ending of karma happens if it happens that relationship will end. Okay, there can
Yeah.
be a pause in between because of your dasha, antradasha, etc. If you have not quit your karma with that person will keep coming back and will definitely give you more torture, right? It will torture you even more. So that is something,
Yeah.
which people should understand. And also, I must tell you, thank you so much. I'm feeling better because I had a very terrible
Yeah.
backache and it's still, there. I've been dancing on the bhajans last night, and I don't know from where I got that energy, but yes, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking, everyone. So let's move on to Gemini's
Uh,
reading.
I
Yeah,
have one small
yeah, sure.
point towards the question that's there in the chat, like
Okay, okay,
about the relationships.
right.
I agreed with everything that you said, and I just have only one small thing to point out.
Hmm.
And they said that March was very difficult, and also like it's not just kind of coming back to this relationship, or the breakup can be difficult, which is agreed, but trying to get over it and also kind of expecting the person to kind of come back are two different things, and they don't work well together, and this is a psychological factor. But on
Yeah,
the other
exactly.
hand, talking about the realistic astrological element,
Hmm.
Mercury was retrograde, and there was a point which was mentioned where there could be some kind of previous relationships that could come back, but it doesn't mean it necessarily come back. It necessarily comes back, and thus that goes back to our natal chart. So, but with Mercury retrograde, what we can expect is there are two ways of understanding this Mercury retrograde. So,
Hmm.
Mercury retrograde in Cancer probably continued to shape in terms of prompting a return to inner feelings and memories, right? So we always have to go back and think what happened in the past and relive all those good memories and feel better, and suddenly our heart starts to kind of long for that memories, and our brain is wired to that particular memory and the goodness we had with that person, and our brain wants to kind of go back and expects the same setup to come back. But this is not about revisiting the past for nostalgia, but Mercury retrograde in Cancer was about reassessing and leading to this conscious review of how we hold emotions and also expectations out of a relationship. So and Mercury was trining Saturn and still is trining Saturn. It's 3 degrees wide or 3 or 4 degrees wide. But Saturn is also retrograde in Pisces, and this indicates deeper review. So Saturn demands structural integrity, right? Saturn is all about structures, grammar, sequence, and Saturn retrograde in Pisces kind of crumbles our emotional realities. Pisces also handles emotions, so this is basically deconstructing the emotional realities. And Mercury retrograde in Cancer kind of brought back a lot of memories and put us into this emotional spiral, bringing back those memories. And all this kind of pushes us towards expecting the person to come back. But on the other hand, this particular Saturn Mercury trine also encourages us to build emotional boundaries, right? So if the person comes back, they come back, but if the person is gone, it's basically kind of their choice. So there is nothing that we can do about it. So all we can do is do not give time to those people who are not ready to give time for us. And this Mercury direct and the approaching new moon in Leo is all about creating emotional boundaries and create healthy patterns in your own life, and don't expect someone else to come back, and don't be vulnerable. So try to be little strong and also practical, because what comes ahead is really important than what is gone. And Mercury's movement forward is an indication that you need to move forward, so your life has much better things. uh, and this is an opportunity for you to kind of reconstruct your emotional setup.
Great. Also, one more thing I wanted to add, like the ones who are losing their jobs and all, check what dasha you're in. If at all you're in the dasha of fifth house, which is the eighth from the 10th, or the ninth house. So this can bring about, or suddenly eighth house. So 8, 5, and 9 will definitely play an important role for a loss of job. If you have to change the job also, then also it is going to be activating your ninth and fifth, and also 10th. So the moment Jupiter transits, sees your 10th house, double transit happens, Saturn and Jupiter, as you know, is going to be forming a double transit on Pisces now, post this Aries sign, the Aries trine. So now it is going to be the time, if you are waiting for a job, you will get it. Abrupt endings is 8th house, 5th house, and 9th house involvement. Okay. I don't know what's your horoscope. Somebody's asked, so I'm just answering.
Yeah.
And always remember, divine is all over and above, and your hard work is the key. Keep trying, don't give up. And if you have to surrender, surrender only to the divine, and you will see that things definitely fall in place. I have experienced it myself, so I'm saying it. It's a first-hand experience I'm sharing with you. In my family, also, somebody lost the job, and we were like totally, shattered. So my relative, a very close relative. So we have to have faith. Okay, remedies will give you some relief, but it will not give you complete eradication of your karma. We cannot. Okay, so everybody has to perform their duties, have to go through the grind also at times, but good times also come back. Remember that. So let's start with the Gemini reading.
Gemini, finally.
Yeah. So for Gemini, this transit is in your third house. Now, third house transit is definitely very positive for you guys, because it's skills, siblings, it's activating short travels for you. So this is good. So it's good for certifications, newsletters, podcasting, schedule buffer for communications. That is something that you have to do. Health-wise, neck and shoulder, that is what you have to take care of. There can be some driving fatigue also if you're traveling. Micro breaks is required. Then as regards to your finances, if we see monetize, writing, speaking, small steady funnels, if you have Sun Ketu in your third house. Now, clear your sibling accounts also, because this is, the house of siblings, and maybe siblings are drifting apart from you. So that is something you have to help them. Time-bound help would be required. Also, as regards to your relationship, clear sibling accounts, and also friends, teachers, your gurus, you should quit your karma with them as well. Vehicle papers and permits should be in order. Mars is in your fourth house also, and we are heading to eclipses as well. Also, you must take care of your, maybe some waterproofing is required or soundproofing is required in your house. So if you want to do it, you can, because it's the Ketu, which is in the 12 places away from the fourth. So selling of the property is also quite likely. Do deep work, blocks, don't doom scroll. Donate stationery mid-transit. Ganesha Japa for emails and filings is also a good remedy for you guys. Now, it is going to be in Magha Nakshatra, Purva Falguni and Uttara Falguni. So in Magha Nakshatra, publish fearlessly, adopt classic rhetoric, debates, oratory. Purva Falguni is good for reels, events, performance, and trolls melt if you stay factual. MOUs with platform sponsors is also going to happen when Sun is in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. So read NDAs very slowly. Watch for commuting, flight shuffles around 7 to 12. And also you can gift stationery items to the students on Wednesdays. So this is what is the key theme. And I know Ashwin will give more elaborate, reading. Over to you, Ashwin.
Thanks. That was great. I don't know what I have to say now. Okay.
Why? There are so
No,
many
no.
things.
I was saying okay. Yeah, I think you touched upon every subject that kind of indicates
See,
that.
Sun is
Yeah.
in Leo in the third house. Okay. So you
Yeah.
can see the other planetary
Uh,
positions. Venus will
yeah.
change sign, Mercury will
Yeah.
join. So you can just touch upon that, what is going to happen, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not going to leave without talking. It's for sure.
Obviously
Like,
not.
yeah.
That's not Ashwin.
Yeah.
That's why
So,
I'm short and crisp, because I know Ashwin will elaborate everything, whatever points I've mentioned. You're good at doing that. So go
yeah,
ahead.
thank you so much. So, I think third house is it's the house of Parakrama, and with Sun in the third house, there is a lot of courage to take new initiatives and communicate properly in terms of what we need to communicate. And here, the Sun Ketu conjunction is very good because the communication is filtered, and there is very less scope for miscommunication because but on the other hand, the risk is that we miss to communicate what needs to be communicated completely. So make sure that uh, you know try to be calculative in communication, but also ensure to kind of pass on your points. And this is also kind of indicative of throwing some light on siblings, because third house is also the house of younger siblings. And third house is also upajaya, so it's a place that improves with time according to classical Indian texts. So which means whatever you've been doing related to third house and whatever effort that you've been doing, it indicates that you need to kind of continue putting in a lot of efforts and you will improve with time. So Sun is the natural significator of authority as well, administration. Sun is vitality, and when all this kind of is activated, the ability to kind of move forward and take your own actions and be responsible for yourself is much higher. Okay. And 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 also, like, third house, classical texts call third house as sahaja bhava. And sahaja is like, just it's something very natural for you. So the skills that you have inherently, and whatever you're good at, now is the time to kind of express it, so you'll be very good at it. And if speech is your strength, now your third house is activated with Sun in the third house, so you can go ahead and speak well. And you will be shining in your immediate environment, because Sun is also the natural significator of fame, and Sun is placed in the third house of Leo in its own sign, where your natural skills and abilities will come forward for people to kind of watch and learn. So confidence is always high. Third house is also the house of communication, so speaking, writing, or teaching. Especially given the fact that the fifth lord Venus is sitting in the first house, teaching could also be one of those things. So if you've been thinking of teaching or initiating a teaching endeavor, this is a very good time. So you want to do an online course and initiate something like that, now is the right time for you to do, or put some work towards that. There will be a lot of clarity in what you do, and just kind of carry this, the wisdom that Ketu gives, and also the light that Sun throws in the most positive manner. So, but Jupiter is in the first house, and Venus is also in the first house, and there is this slight over expressive feelings. So just be a little cautious about it, and don't overdo something, or don't over promise something. And our curiosity can also kind of sometimes turn into a detriment. So try to kind of, as I mentioned, be very clear with your communication, ensure that everything is communicated, and you can always be bold, and that is not going to come down by any means at this point. So there is slight chances of new relationships or expansion of relationships because of this three-line relationship between Sun and Venus. So that also comes into kind of
Sorry to
forefront.
interrupt you, Ashwin. Venus will be transiting the second house on the
Very
21st.
quickly, yeah.
Very
I mean,
quickly, yeah.
I meant
Yeah,
to
please
say
touch upon that also. I also want to hear. Yeah, thanks.
yeah, for a week or so, it is important that if you wanted to kind of reconnect with someone from the past, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. It can be a relationship that kind of helps you in achieving the progress or promises for the rest of the year. And before Mercury enters Leo and Venus enters Cancer, it is a good time for us to kind of initiate communication and try and see what kind of uh, matters that we can achieve in terms of what is pending for us to do. So now is the right time for all of us to kind of reach out. If you want to kind of undertake some kind of a short journey, because third house is short journey or short travels, and Sun is placed in the third house, and it illuminates the possibilities of a short journey, and also there could be a lot of benefits out of this short journey, which is basically closer to home. And this might actually bring some kind of clarity or purpose, because Ketu is also placed there, which means it is also good if you kind of undertake a spiritual journey, like maybe take a 2 day off and just go somewhere which is helping you to kind of gain some spiritual rejuvenation or something like that. Overall conviction is good. Courage, initiative, sticking to your own inner voice and communicating with authority and clarity without missing out on what we need to communicate is very, very important. Being mindful of ego as far as younger siblings are concerned, it is very important. And Mars is placed in the fourth house. Please be mindful of your domestic environments, handle sharp items carefully, and if possible, kind of put all those sharp items out of the way for this month, and be wary of heat related challenges, and try to maintain the balances of the doshas inside our body. So I think that's pretty much it. Overall, this is a very decent period.
See, I
Financial
told
matters
you,
could
you will do the deep analysis well. I know that.
the financial
Yeah,
matters will also come into forefront now that Mercury is direct. Things will
Mercury.
move forward. So if you've been kind of thinking of saving somewhere, parking some money without speculating, I think it's good time to think about it. It's not a financial advice, but I think it's kind of very literal with the chart with Mercury in the second house, and doing something uh, financially that kind of is also an emotional investment is very much a possibility during this period. So, and quickly addressing another thing that was on the chat, someone asked us to do the Tithi Pravesha and Tajika
Yes,
for the
yes, I was coming to that. Yeah.
overall India chart. But what we are doing is much more
Deeper
clearer and also narrow, deep in terms of analysis, because Tajika or Tithi Pravesha is basically for
for the whole
one
year. Yeah,
year, but what we
yeah.
are doing here is for 1 month, and this is far more detailed and also deep.
Precise. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's true. That's true. I was just about to answer the same thing, that what you're asking is an overview of the whole year. We are giving you
Yeah.
minutest details as to how the solar ingress chart looks like every month and how is it going to be. But yes, we definitely
At some
can
point.
do elaborate video for each country also, but we can just put up the capital city and we can do it, then it will be an elaborate video, which already we are doing, for you guys as per the India chart. So I think it is definitely quite concise. So let's move on to the Cancer reading. And for Cancer, this is going to be in the second house. So definitely the theme is food, family, finance, and it is about your speech, diet. So family values, diet, you are going to be focused more on all these things. If you're not, you should, in fact, that's the theme of this. And also it is going to be bringing about some public facing roles, voice training pays, also throat, teeth, lipids, routine checks. Don't ignore your teeth regions, please. This is eyesight and teeth, of course. Okay. And move from speculative to systematic and non-negotiable savings. As it is, when I've seen for Cancer natives, it's the fixed signs rising, on the second and the 11th houses. So it's better that you have fixed deposits rather than, having, or if you want to take SIPs or something which is assured that, okay, if I invest here, this money is not going anywhere. So that kind of a, non-negotiable savings would be that definitely favorable. Relationship wise, it will heal old karmic knots, or any kind of issues that you have been going through, ego clashes and all. That is definitely going to mellow down. So it's a better phase that you're heading to. Salary letters, invoices, KYC, keep pristine. Home, pantry, or utilities, insurance, these will be the themes. As per your kids, related to kids, students, this is the time to teach, learn more and teach your kids how you can, be better, minimalistic approach, not the big brands and all that. You have to teach them that. If you're looking for a university or something, so you have to maybe make peace with a smaller university, in case you have to. Of course, the admissions are over and now the sessions have started elsewhere. But still, there are some who are waiting for their results, or they want to shift out from one subject to another. They want to switch. So this might be a little confused state of mind also. So make sure that you're taking help and advice from the counselor and then making decisions. Okay. And don't go in for the bigger names. Go to the minute, because Ketu is starting from scratch. Okay. Ketu is not big thing. It doesn't take you to the heights. That's why when we see the flag, airplane, all these are denoted by Ketu, but they have to take off from somewhere, isn't it? So from the ground level, it goes up. So that is why Ketus, you have to start from scratch and then reach that height and that particular stature that you are waiting for. Do gratitude meals with your family. Don't weaponize your words. Offer milk or rice on Sundays. And if you want to do the Ketu mantra, so I'll recite it for 3 times. Om Kam Ketuve Namaha, Om Kam Ketave Namaha, Om Kam Ketave Namaha, or Om Sram Ketuve Namaha. Depends which one you want to do. Which one is easier for you, because there's a difference. It is a Bij mantra and the other one is a simple daily mantra that you can do for a speech detachment also. If you have any kind of issues because of your speech, or anything to do with your, relationship is suffering because of your harshness of speech, so you must recite Ketu chants, because it's going to be another year or so that Ketu is going to be in your second house, of course. Okay. And also, the best thing is that the eclipse is also going to be in your second house. Om Kam Ketave Namah. Yes. Okay, you have written. I thought somebody has written it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the eclipse is on your personal income, or we can say, shared resources, because Rahu is there. So it is the release indulgent spending. Don't show off, because the eclipse is in your second house and sun is getting eclipsed, and sun is the flamboyancy also. So it can give you some kind of mellowing impact with this eclipse happening in your second house. You don't have to overindulge, or if you don't need anything, don't overspend on those things also. Family guilt talk, secrecy around money. Real estate wise, insurance, loans, etc. It is a beneficiary thing. If you have to go in for any beneficiary issue, can also come up. Also, sun is going to be in 3 nakshatras of Magha, Purva Falguni, and Uttara Falguni. So when it is in Magha nakshatra, family, prestige, speak blessings, not boasting. Purva Falguni's theme is luxury, culinary indulgence, budgeted. Uttara Falguni's theme is salary revision, retainer contract, tax proofs, neat. So watch for throat, sugar, lipids, avoid crash diets, donate milk and rice on Pitori, Amavasya, recite Aditya Hriday Stotram, if possible. That's for sun I'm giving you. Okay. And I think now you can take over. I'm done with the reading. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Kam Ketave Namaha. So, uh, yeah, for I think for Cancer rising, second house is activated as you mentioned. It's the house of wealth, income, and also speech, family. More importantly, so throwing light on your family. So if you've not been spending as much time for your family, I think now is the time where your spouse will kind of tap on your head and demand for more time. So yeah, it could be kind of and second house is not just about money, right? It's about values, and it's both tangible and intangible values. So how we value ourselves and how much value kind of we put into what we do is very important. And sun is very powerful here, and we need to kind of raise the benchmark in terms of how we value ourselves. And also, if you're a consultant or doing something, consulting work, if you have a Cancer rising, increase your prices of consulting. So that's now is the good time to kind of value yourself much higher than what you have been doing. So just an example, right? So because second house is also Dhanabhava, like the house of income. So this particular period indicates how to kind of, ethically and creatively increase your financial resources, and using your voice, and also kind of sticking to your strength. Because the reason why I say voice is second house is also the house of speech, and what you say at this point will have more value. And more value is not just in terms of what we say, but it is also in terms of what comes back to us, right? So the karmic balance should always be maintained. It should not be one way. If it is one way, it is draining. So I think the sun falling on the nodal axis for the Cancer rising natives is somewhere kind of balancing this karmic scale, where on the one hand it is very low because of Ketu, and on the other hand it is very high because of Rahu. So sun is basically coming there and trying to kind of lift Ketu up so that the value is equal and the balance between Rahu and Ketu is preserved or maintained. So, and try to be a little less authoritative, because there is a lot of chances that you are over authoritative and your speech is fiery. Sun is fiery and sometimes sharp because of Ketu, and which can cut through or penetrate through some people. And there is a good chance that we might hurt someone, because Mars in the third house of communication also indicates fiery speech. So we have a lot of, two planets showing vulnerabilities in the way we speak or what we communicate. So be very careful about that. And you know while sun can throw light, on the other hand it can also scorch, like overheat will burn things. So be very mindful of that. And this is a good period for you to kind of take control of your financial matters, because sun in its own sign gives a sense of pride in terms of what you earn and how you manage your financial resources. So try to be a little mindful of how to kind of manage and organize your finances and plan ahead, because Saturn is still retrograde in your ninth house. And planning for all these things is also very good until Saturn turns direct. And the planning is a little long term, but with sun there are actions that you can take simultaneously, and at some point both this planning and action will meet together and it will turn into an opportunity, right? So overall, there is a good potential for growth, but there is a lot of necessity to be a little wise and also disciplined, because somewhere Saturn's retrogression and sun on the nodal axis makes us lose a little bit of vitality, and we might tend to kind of go towards laziness. And obviously Mercury is here in Cancer, and naturally there is this tendency to kind of feel emotionally satisfied and just rest. So but now is the time to pick up and move forward. So family life obviously comes into focus, as I mentioned. So the second house is the immediate family, your own loved ones and with whom you live. So, and it is also connected to a lineage. So that is why this particular transit is very important, especially for Cancer rising natives. And this can bring a lot of blessings from the ancestors if we do the right things at this point, like giving uh, some kind of offerings to our ancestors and feel responsible to do the same for them. And ego issues clash within family members with immediate family members is very much possible because of Sun's presence in the second house and also in conjunction with Ketu. So it is important not to kind of dominate people, but to be a little, polished in terms of how we kind of deal with it. So it's Sun's greater qualities are basically kind of generosity and majesty, and throwing light on it, not to you know bombard people with fire. So that's not the case. Agni is all about purification. It's not,
Yes.
and Sun's Agni is not destruction. It is the purification process which turns the ore into gold. So overall, finances coming into focus, and speech, authority, second house matters, with a little bit of restraint in terms of how we speak is good. But overall, I think there is good chance of maintaining harmony within the family and moving on with your life with more intent and pace than ever during this year.
Excellent. And this, what you said, no, about the family, that was
Yeah.
bang on.
Okay.
Coming to the next one, that is,
Or
don't be
Leo
overbearing,
itself.
no, that is. Hmm?
Leo itself.
Yes, Leo itself now. Okay. So what's for Leo? Yes, eclipse is going to be happening over your head. So take care of your head, first of all. Head, external and internal, emotions also. Okay. So you guys have to be extra cautious. Now, the thing is that on the job front, I'm going to be covering first, like one by one: job, health, finance, everything. So visibility will peak because it's in the first house. So whatever job you're assigned, you definitely are going to be competing it. And from personality brand to process brand. Okay, that's the key theme. Heart, spine, dehydration, heat, reduce inflammatory foods. That is what is the key theme also, health-wise. And the eclipse is on the 7th. And it is very much visible in India. So we all have to be a little careful about that also. Stable if disciplined, finances, trim status spending, just don't buy anything which you really don't want or need during this time period. So slim, I always say minimalistic approach. Whatever you need only during this time period, especially, you should, because it is in the Aquarius sign Rahu. So you will definitely get lured by purchases and all that. So you have to follow a minimalistic approach. Relationship wise, there can be, that you have to share the stage, boundaries with warmth. Authorities or legal matters, if you are entrapped in a designation or role description can change. Document continuity can happen. Home property related, if at all you have any kind of upgrades that you're waiting for, you can do it, lighting, solar upgrades, etc. So this is a good time period. Don't be impulsive in purchases or redoing your place. Don't spend too much. Don't get carried away and overboard to do anything to do for your house and home environment. Avoid heat stress to your pets and also to your kids, model humility for kids. And also, Argya is a must for you guys because, sun is in the first house and it is losing its sheen with Rahu Ketu axis predominant. So you need to do Argya, don't chase applause. And also, it is Aditya Hriday Stotram. That's also going to be giving you some positive strength also it will give you. And also Om Gam Ganapataya Namo Namaha chant also before public statement. Now, this particular sun's transit is going to be in 3 nakshatras of Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni. Magha is ruled by Ketu, Purva Falguni is ruled by Venus, and Uttara Falguni by Sun himself. So throne is yours. When sun is in the Magha, throne is yours. Show purpose, not pomp. Okay. And Purva Falguni Nakshatra, when sun will be ingressing into, that is like, your charisma will spike. So this is going to be a good time period. Protect your reputation from past flings or, any kind of PR slips, etc. So you have to be a little cautious. Uttara Falguni transit is good. Redefine your duty charter. Announce service initiatives also. Also, it can, publish a concise duty charter for the next 6 to 12 months, in fact, okay? Avoid vanity traps or overexposure when sun is in Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Now, the eclipse is also happening for you guys in the first 7 axes. So, this is like, image, health, boundaries, all will be in the spotlight. So, release your performative leadership, old relationship scripts. That's not going to help you. Reveal who mirrors you. Okay. Partner, public, rival, whosoever, and what must be renegotiated. This is a time to renegotiate and stick to your ethics and your standards. Okay, that's what. And I'll give you the remedy of Surya Argya, and you can also donate to the orphans if you can, some orphanages, animal shelters, you can go and serve there, or, to the hospital if you can go and serve also. So Ashwin will share with you the insights when Mercury is going to be here, Venus is going to be in your 12th, and Saturn, as it is forming a 6-8 relationship with the Sun. So it's little tough. It's little tough on health and on career also. Over to you, Ashwin.
Yeah, I think it was a well-rounded analysis, but I just have a few points to add because the sun is placed in the first house, which gives a lot of optimism, and the ruler of the rising sign or the sun sign or the moon sign is actually placed in the first house, and that indicates that there is this representation of the self where there is a lot of importance to yourself. So now is the time for you to focus on yourself, and it's not selfish. Like, it's never selfish to focus on yourself. And if you are that kind of a person who feels that it is selfish if you focus on yourself, no. The first thing, according to any form of Indian philosophical scripture, is to focus on yourself. And now is the vitality that is coming inside you, that has been missing for a lot of this period because of Ketu in the first house. Vitality is slowly coming back because of the sun in the first house, and it is going to stay for 1 month. So you have this month to kind of regain strength, and also some self dignity with a lot of confidence. So your own strengths, and the power of you being present at one particular place will be highlighted. There will be a little bit of criticism, but naturally you will attract a lot of attention, and people will notice that your confidence is increasing, and that's why you need to kind of present yourself on the external platform without kind of going into a shell. Now is not the time to go into a shell. So as I mentioned, first house, fiery planet sun, there is chances of heat increasing in the body, and that is why we need to kind of make sure that we balance all these things in terms of the consumption of food that we have or the place that we live in. So it has the ability to kind of affect us on a temperamental basis as well. Temperament in the sense it can kind of lead to anger or something like that, and that is not good for us. So impatience or kind of saying something very harsh to someone, especially with Mars in the second house, there is every chance that we could hurt someone. So that we need to kind of avoid and be very aware of it. Try to kind of not cross this line between confidence and arrogance, right? So you can remain confident, but there is the risk of turning arrogant, and just be very mindful of that. And yeah, I think I feel that this is a time of renewal with a little bit of challenges with Mercury in the 12th house and Venus slowly approaching the 12th house. But 12th house is also the house of isolation and seclusion. So if you have to focus on yourself, you also need some kind of an isolation. So it's good to kind of spend some time for yourself. If you've been kind of burnt out or overworking, now is the right time for you to kind of spend some time for yourself. Take a 2 or 3 day off from work and try to spend the time for yourself. With Saturn in the 8th house, training the 12th house, Mercury and Venus, it is kind of resetting your emotional realities, and trying to construct the new renewed framework around yourself, which will continue to help you build confidence. So where there is a little bit of chances of vulnerability of health issues and all these things, there also lies an opportunity where for you to kind of try to revive yourself. So we most of the times we ignore the symbols or significations that the universe gives us. So Venus, Mercury, in the 12th house, it can indicate health challenges. But on the other hand, why do we have health issues? If trying to thinking from a philosophical perspective, we have been overburning ourselves. Our body is basically responding to the challenges that we are facing, and the indication is that we need to kind of reduce the challenges and put some focus on ourselves. With Ketu in the first house and Rahu in the seventh house, I know you have been kind of focusing on other people, and you have been kind of putting efforts to other people's life, and your abilities have been kind of used by other people. But now is the time to slowly kind of detach from all those things. You have been detaching from yourself, but now is the time to kind of again balance the scale and focus on yourself. Jupiter is still in the 11th house, and you will have enough support uh, from social circles, and that is something that you need to kind of make use of. Overall, it's a mixed period for Leo, but there is a lot of optimism and opportunities that you can cling on to.
Amazing. Thank you, Ashwin. Let's move on to, before moving on to Virgo, what is the name of AB astrologer? Please tell.
My name is Ashwin Subramanian.
Yes. And I think we are associated since 8 years now. Yes.
Yeah, 8
8
years.
years.
Yeah,
Maybe
8
more.
years. Yeah, I think 8 years. So
Yeah,
it's
8
good.
years.
Yeah,
Yes.
many astrologers don't continue collaborating for 8 years. So
No, I don't think so.
yeah.
So yeah, so for Virgo natives, this is the transit which is happening over your 12th house. Now, 12th house is the house of retreats, expenses, sleep, foreign ties. So this is going to activate that, in fact. So what you have to do right now, you have to make the best use of this energy. So if you are research minded, or if you have any kind of project which is associated with the foreign land or something, so this is going to give you quite excellence also. Also, sleep debt, it is called the sleep debt, and lymphatic drainage health wise, and also digital sunset 9 p.m. That is the key to your success. So you see how you can detox, how you can sleep on time. Digital detox, that is something which you will be getting into with Ketu in the 12th house. Foreign remittance fee, track subscriptions well. Also, if you want to start a new project overseas, you have to put a lot of money into it also. Be prepared for that. Spiritual companionship in relationship, of course, compassionate endings if needed. Authorities may clear old fines or renew passports quietly. Home and property related storage purge will be there. Donate surplus, because I always tell that if you have anything which is like not used from past 5 years, so the best is to not use it anymore and donate it. That's the best thing which everybody should do. As per Vastu, we definitely follow this rule. Also, vet boarding standards. You can just take some kind of your dog or your animal to your pet to the veterinary. That is something which you have to do. And also, kids will benefit if they are studying in isolation, not in groups. Sometimes they want to do group studies and all that, so that is something you have to be careful about. Okay. And do one silent morning weekly, like just go out, connect with nature. Ketu is in the 12th house. 12th house is the open sky, and Ketu does well in the 12th house. So it's good if you connect with the ancestors, talk to them, and also if you can just connect with nature. So that's a remedy also. So sesame oil, ghee, oil lamp, that is the diya, tea light, or candle if you want to. Sesame oil you have to use, not the ghee, on Saturdays. Okay. And Ketu beach mantra also is good for you, at least for over 9 days if you do it. And the three nakshatras this sun will be ingressing it in would be Magha, Purva Falguni, and Uttara Falguni. So behind the scenes power, visas, immigrations, files, that is the theme of Sun in Magha. Then Sun moves into the Purva Falguni nakshatra, and Ketu is also in Purva Falguni. So this is like luxury travel may lure you, keep refundable. Also, book just if you want to travel also, there's a lot of fluctuations, so back and forth is happening. So I think you should book refundable tickets during this time. Also, Uttara Falguni is about hospitals, NGO, CSR engagement, close all karmic tabs or karmic closures during this time. And of course, you have to take care of your health because we have a Rahu also in the 6th house. Now, there are eclipses also happening in this zone, So sleep, solitude versus duty, health, because Rahu is in the 6th house. Hospital, NGO themes, or an old illness may flare up. So take care of your health any which ways. Martyrdom at work, you have to release. Doom scrolling at night, release. And if you want to, that revelation that you're waiting for is the habit that truly drains you. That will be also, the one which will guide you that, no, plug that in. There's some leakage there. Okay. Over to you, Ashwin.
There is leakage, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, 12th house, right? So 12th house is the house of isolation. To start with, it's the house of isolation. And if sun is placed there, there is this feeling of isolation. 12th house is also a moksha house, the final moksha house, and it doesn't mean death, but liberation. So it is time for us to try and go to our inner self and find out what helps us feel fulfilled, satisfied, and also liberated. So it is good to kind of take some time away from the public, uh, or from our regular routines, and be connected with our family, or just with ourselves, because the lord of the first house, Mercury, is placed in the 11th house of Cancer, which means we need to kind of connect with our loved ones and be in touch with our emotional apparatus and process those emotions. And it's also a good time to kind of be isolated. So taking a 2 or 3 day solo trip may not be a bad idea after all. So, and this is also a house of expenditure. So, so before going to expenditure, so why do we need to kind of spend some time for ourselves? It's about letting go. 12th house is the final release. So just there are baggages. 12th house is the house of hidden baggages, and also sometimes sacrifice. So just leave whatever we need to leave, and move light as much as possible. So 12th house is the house of expenses and losses. So it's not just kind of financial matters, but it is also it could be in any way, spiritual or environmental, philosophical, psychological, any form of expenditure. So energy, like the sun in the 12th house, sun indicates vitality. So we spend energy and we kind of let our vitality go, and our energy level is very poor. So with sun and Ketu in the 12th house, our sleep is naturally disturbed, and we need this time to kind of lie low and have some retreat or recharge whenever it is possible. So the sun illuminates the area of 12th house, which indicates rest, sleep, and isolation, and also deep spiritual, focusing, or looking forward to some kind of a deep spiritual enlightenment. So it might not be a bad idea to kind of try and understand uh, any philosophical text. Maybe read 1 or 2 verses or slokas in Gita every day and see what it does to you. It is not with a view to kind of achieve something or gain something, but it might be with a view to kind of try and understand life more, and it might actually end up giving you a lot of self-awareness, which might end up acting as a retreat or a recharge that you needed. So connecting with the higher self is very, very important, because Ketu is in the 12th house right now, and with sun there, now is the time to kind of throw some light into those 12th house matters. Because with Ketu in the 12th house, we are already kind of detaching from our past and slowly kind of moving forward. And with the sun joining there, we have this extra element of spirituality that kind of falls in, and we withdraw from whatever is we think are not necessary for us, and we move on to cling to what is very, very important for us in our journey for the rest of the year. So being the house of liberation, it is important to kind of let go of the weight from our back, and try to travel light, which helps in. And Rahu in the sixth house, obviously it indicates where we work. Artha, the house of objective, so indicates where, so why, what, so all those things, the questions kind of keep coming into your mind. There will be competition at work, and it is natural for a Virgo native who's always focused on perfection and analytical matters, to feel a little low with Mercury in the 11th house of Cancer, which deals with emotion. So now is the time for you to kind of understand that, uh, empathetically, that other people might not be as analytical or perfect as you. So what you need to do is accept some of the imperfections that kind of make your way, and be a little empathetic towards other people, so that those people, instead of turning into enemies, you turn them into friends, because that is what Rahu does. Rahu in the 10th house destroys enemies, and destroying enemies not just about kind of making those enemies known, but it is also converting about them into friends, creating out of what is not there. So instead of seeing them as competition or something, it is important for you to see as a as someone with whom you can coexist, and because you need to meet them at workplace on a daily basis. And practically speaking, dealing with all those challenges, we all need people to kind of work with. So it's better we make some friends. So Jupiter in the 10th house of profession will continue to kind of give some uh, tendencies to overdo or expand, but be a little mindful. There will be some confusions, like it's a huge place, and suddenly we are kind of stuck with not knowing what to do, or where to go. So that kind of stays, but still our social circles will improve uh, because of Jupiter, and this is only confined to our workplace, not necessarily the other social circles, and that is something that's handled by Mercury, because it's in the 11th house. Like, gains, friendship, and networking is also there during this period. So if we have some desires, it is most likely that those small desires will get fulfilled because of Mercury's placement in the 11th house. So key themes are retreats, isolation, and converting isolation into solitude. Isolation is basically when we are kind of pushed away by people, but solitude is something that we embrace. So if you are pushed away by someone, try to embrace that isolation and convert it into solitude, and therefore it becomes positive. So hopefully this is a prosperous period with a little bit of caution here and there.
Somebody wants to know Virgo question. So you may ask, please. You're most welcome to ask. Also, I wanted to share that, Mars, whenever is in the Lagna, in the Virgo sign, this is making you very hyperactive, or maybe, impulsive. And it's good if you are, more composed and take care of your health. Sports activity, it is definitely a vent that is required when we talk about Mars in the Lagna. And it's good, although for property related matters, Jupiter is looking, Mars is looking, Saturn is looking at the Sagittarius sign. So good for property purchase, etc. With Sun also in the overseas, maybe, you might just shift to the overseas place. So
I
I'm
think you
waiting.
mentioned that one good point about Mars, like needing that physical energy. That's something that was very good that you mentioned. Physical let out is also a let out. It's a release.
Yes, that's what. I don't know. I was waiting for the question. I think we need to proceed now. Maybe towards the end, we'll respond if you have the questions. If we missed out on something, but you can ask each sign wise what we are taking. So in between, we can take up that sign question. Okay, we can just, because the chart is right there, so we can answer easily also. Okay, so now Libra sign, this transit of Sun is going to be in your 11th house. 11th house is the house of network, gains, large goals, also patrons. So this is the time when you might just have some alliances, but you are in that solo grind also. Remember, you will make too many friends, but you feel isolated again. Why? Because of Saturn and Sun and Ketu combination. Always remember, you are with people, yet you are alone, or you are in that, contemplative mode most of the times. So revive old leads, don't depend on the new ones. Okay. Edema, varicose veins, elevate your legs and sleep. Okay, because Mars is also in your 12th house. So watch salt intake with Sun in your Leo sign and with Ketu also there. Friends may just be advising you on your investments, etc. Don't take that advice as tips. It's not going to help you. Verify it yourself with someone you trust. Also, social world, this is a whirlwind basically, you know, when Sun and Ketu are together. So curate for quality. Okay, compliance on time, clean disclosures, so society approvals, home environment in case, you know, you have to change. So you might just be waiting for the approvals. Group training for your pets is a good idea. Okay, and also it's a good one if you have team of kids, and you know, it's a group activity they get involved in. If they have to study also, they must do it with in team, you know, or in groups. Do mentor one junior, that's the remedy. Don't collect contacts, build friendships. Okay, weekly seva to a community kitchen would be a key to the problems that you are stuck with. Also, because Jupiter is in Punarvasu Nakshatra and is getting powerful, being the ruler of your third and the sixth house, the Trishadaya, it is getting powerful, and with the Lagnesh. So you must donate saffron or, you know, also Chandan, that is the Chandan is sandalwood. You know, you can donate small amount of maybe half a gram of saffron will do to the priest, or some yellow clothes or a turmeric also will be good for you. And Venus mantras you should recite on Fridays. Now there will be 3 nakshatras this um, Sun will be ingressing in. So Magha first, Heritage Networks open elite rooms. And also Purva Falguni is gala invites. You will get gala invites, collaborations. Keep it ethical, and also keep the ethics strong. Uttara Falguni will be like grant funding or anything to do with board seats. Check conflict clauses also during this time. Contracts with conflict of interest clauses. That is something you have to be really careful about. Also, we have eclipse happening in your 11th house. So sleep, solitude, sorry, it is for the Libra natives. I was just thinking about Virgo only. So groups or gains versus children, romance, creative pride. Release fair weather friends. FOMO investing, audience over art. Reveal one patron worth keeping. One hobby that wants to become a craft. So this is a very positive time for doing so. All right. Lagnesh is also going to be in the 9th house first and then moves into the 10th. So if you're waiting for a job assignment, or you want to change, so this will activate it. As it is, your 3rd house is heavily impacted because Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, they all are looking at your 3rd house. There is a lot of communication gap also. There is something that you want to say or do, you're unable to. There is blockage that you're feeling. So this might give you that headless Ketu will give you that wisdom now. So you will have a good connection with those people you could not connect in the past, or there were misunderstandings. So it'll be cleared. Okay. Over to you, Ashwin. I'm done. Yeah.
I think the point that you made about the multiple aspects to third house was brilliant, because uh, too much of concentration kind of brings a lot of perspectives, and suddenly we are conflicted and unable to do anything. And finally, you kind of concluded by saying that the headless Ketu is going to give that wisdom to kind of progress or move forward, which is very well said. So overall, 11th house, the house of gains, friends, networks, desires, aspirations, and everything. So with the sun in the 11th house in Leo, it's going to be a reasonably uh, auspicious transit. But on the other hand, it's also uh, the 11th house is the sign of obstruction for the movable signs. So what turns out to be an opportunity can also be an obstruction. What is an obstruction can also turn out to be an opportunity. So if there is an obstruction, you should find an opportunity in it. And if there is an opportunity, you should make sure that you kind of expect an obstruction, and you need to clear those off the way. So Upachaya, its 11th house is Upachaya house, so it naturally kind of indicates that there is some kind of growth for sure. And since Sun is placed in its own sign, there is strength to fulfill all your desires, and also gain enough support from people. But just trying to gain support from people might be a little difficult, but ultimately it will arrive. The reason why it will be difficult is because Sun is conjunct Ketu. So 11th house, also the house of profit, right? Material gains. So Sun kind of helps us with the potential to kind of recognize some kind of an old investment or gain some profit, and also have some unexpected support from people who are in influential positions or administrative positions, like people in major corporate or governmental or quasi government positions can kind of come and support us. And Sun, as I mentioned, Sun is always about egotism and also a little extra sense of pride. So since this is happening in your 11th house, it is important that you don't over impose your own ideas on others, because it might annoy your social circles and things might change a little difficult for you. So a lot of the rising sign Venus is currently in the ninth house of Gemini, but quickly it is going to move into the 10th house. So Mercury and Venus will be in the 10th house of Cancer, which makes everything much easier. So this could indicate some form of design, in interior designing, focus on interior designing or studying interior designing, or kind of reading about structures and finding information about all those things, and also reading psychology texts or books will be very important. Overall, I think the ability to connect with people with love uh, and intelligence is a good mix at this at, with Venus and Mercury in Cancer, especially in the 10th house. So it's good if you kind of have this soft but yet intelligent approach in terms of connecting with people. So, and on the other hand, we have Rahu in the Rahu is in the 6th house currently, and the house of enemies, right? So
No, fifth
competition
house.
is.
Fifth house. Rahu's in the fifth house.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Aquarius.
Yeah. Sorry. Rahu's in the
No
fifth
worries.
house, and with Rahu in the fifth house, creativity will be very high. But also there is this element of delusion or illusion where we think we have something and suddenly it is not there. So we think we have creativity and suddenly we end up finding that it is actually not there. And this might be true because Saturn is the lord of Aquarius, is placed in the 6th house of Pisces, and it's retrograde. If it is direct, it will be a different story, but it is retrograde. So if you are undertaking a creative project, just undergo a lot of brainstorming sessions, but don't come to any kind of a conclusive decisions. It all this will materialize when Venus enters Libra, it's Mula Trikona. So for now it's important for you to keep brainstorming and doing the groundwork as much as possible. Uh, I think that's it. Overall, it's a very good transit with Jupiter, and Venus will move, but Jupiter is still in the ninth house, giving a lot of opportunity for us to gather information, especially regarding spiritual texts. And if you want to do social media as well, I think now is a reasonably good time for you to kind of venture into some kind of a social media matter, starting a YouTube channel or something like that. With Saturn in the 6th house, action or effort is already there. So if you make plans, you can kind of do something in the future. With Rahu in the 5th house, any creative projects will kind of take shape. Uh, Overall, it's a good period, positive, optimistic period for Libra rising natives.
Thank you so much. I wanted to hear that because someone really dear to me is a Libra rising, and I
Libra.
have maximum 90% of my clients are Libra, and I really wish and pray that
Something is
everybody does
there.
well, not just the Libra, but all of them.
Yeah.
All the signs. One more point I just came across was it's a Badhak. Sun is the Badhakesh
Yeah.
also. Okay,
Yeah.
so when a Badhakesh or the Trishadai ruler is with a malefic, it is minus minus plus. Okay. So
Yeah.
one fair weather friend that you were thinking, you can depend on will exit from your life. That is something which is the best thing that has happened to you. So don't crib about it, or don't
Yeah.
howl or cry, oh, that person left me, I was so dependent on this person, this, that. So it can happen between 7 to the 12th, because you must understand, this is a sutra. Whenever Ketu is with any graha which is a badhak lord, you will feel better. Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, Trishad Aya. These are the most malefic houses. And if the ruler of these is conjunct a malefic, it is minus minus plus situation. So if something is splitting away from you, some toxic relationship is breaking away from you, accept it and move on. Don't feel that, oh, I'm stuck. Somebody is saying Libra Lagna in foreign land, finding opportunities out of nothing, spiritual evolution for Libra Lagna. Where is it important to set priorities? See, you must understand, when Saturn transits Pisces sign, wherever Pisces sign is, people will become detached and spiritual more. It is not going to be a superficial spirituality, which was when Saturn was in Aquarius sign. Now it is going to be more in depth. It is going to be more internal. Now you're not showing off to the world. Now it is more for yourself. So spiritual growth definitely is going to be exponentially going up, with Saturn getting direct after November. Especially in November, December, you will be getting better. So the best remedy that I am giving you is to actually teach someone, to mentor someone, at least till the Navratri is over. So till 22nd of the next month, we have a Pitru Paksh, and then starts the Navratri. So at least till that time, just do seva, serve others. Saturn is retrograde also in the Pisces sign. It says work for others, do for others, and Saturn is masses also. So you should actually be, getting into some spirituality and help someone, mentor someone unconditionally. Maybe there are some teams that you have to train also. That is also quite likely. But I have seen some are suffering with a lot of turmoil, because Jupiter is in Punarvasu. 13th, Jupiter transited through this Punarvasu, and it has created a lot of havoc for Libra also. But it gives you spiritual growth. You will get clarity. Ultimately, when Lagnesh is together with the benefic, it will give you clarity also. So don't worry about that. Okay. Libra ascendant, I have one question for marriage related proposal. Family are looking out. Any help cosmically, or waiting period ongoing? See, you must understand, when we talk about marriage, the seventh house, seventh lord need to be really strong. And right now, your seventh lord is 6 places away. So this is not a good conducive period till 13th of September, when Mars transits in your first house. That's the time it will activate it. Also, Jupiter transiting through your your 10th house will also be favorable for finding a conducive partner or getting married. Any thing you want to add, Ashwin, or we move on?
I think it was spot on, because I would also wait until Mars enters Libra and gains the
Yes.
aspect of Jupiter,
Hmm.
and when Venus moves into Cancer, there will be a little bit of reception that Venus receives Mars in its own territory in Libra, at least for the last 1 week or so before Venus moves into Leo. So I think that is one window. And on the other hand, it is always good if Mars is dignified, and that will be when Mars enters Scorpio.
Yes.
But more importantly, it's important to look at the birth chart, and we need to
Obviously.
understand the
That's a
dashas.
disclaimer. That's a
Yeah,
disclaimer.
yeah, and especially for very particular questions related to marriage, when or if this particular, I think dashas play a major role.
Yes, and seventh lord in D9 chart also, you have to see the condition of the
Yes.
seventh lord. We have to see, we have to superimpose, we have to see the Swamamsha, we have to see the Navamsha, and we have to see the high, degrees, and then, you get Karkamsha also, I see. So only
Yeah.
then, I get to know that, okay, Rahu Ketu are transiting the trine. So that also triggers a relationship, by the
Yeah,
way.
a lot of things.
So, not many, there are so many sutras, Ashwin. We cannot just see only one and decide that this marriage is going to be good, bad, or it's going to happen, or it's not going to happen. All that depends on your personal chart. Transits are not the event creators. Coming to the
Yeah.
next one, that is Scorpio. So if you have any questions, everyone, for Scorpio, please put up now so that you don't miss out on the session. So as you know, this is the 10th house transit of Surya and career status and leadership. Now, this will give you some promotion talks which you were waiting for. Stand beside the authority right now, okay? Also, this is the time when you will be accountable for things. See, Ketu is one detaching energy. You really don't want to work. I've seen they lose interest. Whenever Ketu is in your natal chart in the 10th house or is transiting the 10th house, people get detached and they feel, what am I doing? That kind of a thing. But maybe there's a leadership role that's waiting for you. You're just close to the finishing line. So don't give up. That's what I can say. Don't give up, because Sun is Digbali also over here. So it's definitely very positive. Take care of your posture, sitting posture, spine. Stress hormone hygiene is very important. And there can be some bonuses which are tied to your clear metrics also. Balance home office schedule, and if you have to go in for any date or anything and you want to go ahead with a relationship, so this is a conducive period because Mars is in your 11th house also. So this will give you that relationship if you are waiting for. Also, you upgrade your your home, because there is a lot of dimness in your house, so you have to make it more lit because Rahu is in your 4th house. And also, maybe you have to upgrade your studio lighting also, if at all you have any, if you're a YouTuber or a social media platform person. So you have to work on the lighting also, because when Rahu is in the 4th house, there is an issue regards to the lighting also. A dog's training is required, right now, because Mars is actually looking at your 6th house as well. Not a good time for legal battles. Maybe you lose, or maybe it is a prolonged thing. So do own errors quickly. Don't PR spin. Also, water the people tree, banyan tree. Vow to refuse one ethically gray deal a day. So also, it is refuse the shady deals. It's not required. You don't have to be always, thinking of a shorter route. That's not going to help you. Also, it is going to be transiting through 3 nakshatras of Magha, Purva Falguni, and Uttara Falguni. So stable, this can bring out when it's in Magha, be the fixer beside power. Okay. And Purva Falguni, polish the brand, avoid flattery traps, and zero tolerance for flattery traps, I would say. Policy notes, public commitments, crisis comms, playbook. That is the theme of Uttara Falguni Sun. Okay. And also, there is you have to be careful about your relationship with your bosses, especially in and around eclipses. Okay. So old banyan tree, if you can find, so water it, especially on the Thursdays. It is definitely very positive. Okay. Now there is an eclipse thing, which is eclipse, which is on the 7th in your 10th house also. So public role versus homeland. A boss may, be quitting the job, or there's a change of some co-workers you were depending on as well. A family expectation might surface or resurface. Release PR or PR's sake. Guilt around not being at home enough, because you actually are very obsessive about your family, home environment. Now you have to put little extra effort to come out of that guilt, that you have a lot of work. You have nowadays, actually, the filing is going on, tax and all that. So people are working long hours if you are a CA or a accountant or someone in the finance background. So you don't have to have that guilt. This part of the year you're busy, so you're busy. So being at home enough is giving you that guilt. Okay, you're not spending time with your family. So reveal what authority really wants from you and what your household needs to feel safe. So this is a balanced energy that you have to work on, but definitely eclipse will show you the right path also. Remember that. So maybe you have to go for a job switch or something. So this is the time which will activate your job switch also. Okay. So coming to the readings by Ashwin now. Ashwin, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. That was great. 10th house is active with the Karma Bhava. And it's the house of profession, authority, or public sphere, or maybe recognition that we get from on the public platform. So this is a very important transit for Scorpio rising natives, because the 10th lord in the 10th house is very, very powerful, and the nodal axis is also there with Ketu. So something that you are born to do is brewing behind. So even if it doesn't come to the limelight, or if even if you don't realize something that's very important, it might be a very important period for you to kind of kickstart something, or kind of do some deep work that might turn out to be your life's work at some point. um, and the responsibilities that you carry at some point will turn to be very, very significant, and you will contribute to the community in a very positive way, right? So it is kind of basically the house of action. 10th house is the house of action. So whatever you do, and your authority, your leadership, and everything will be highlighted, and people will take note of what you do. And also people will appreciate your professional efforts, whatever you do, as part of your administrative capacity. So the visibility is great. Now is the time you want to market yourself. Just kind of go with full flow. And and there is this potential for gaining a better position, or maybe a recognition, or it could be a promotion, depending on your individual dasha or antardasha. And there is this some kind of ladder that we find in terms of how we want to advance our career, and that might kind of suddenly become stronger. And quickly we will have this sense of direction, because 10th house is also direction, like life direction, right? So, and 10th house is also the house of karma. So somewhere down the line, we will be doing what we should be doing, and filtering out what we shouldn't be doing, because Ketu is there. So filter is like a very natural thing, and that filtering process can be a little challenging, because Ketu will cut, and it is the natural significator of detachment or dissolve. So there will be some detachments or dissolutions that you will be going through at workplace. Maybe someone with whom you really worked very closely over a long period of time is moving out, or you are moving out of that particular place, and you suddenly don't have this person who has been there for you over a long period of time. So so the risk is that you will be recognized at work, but somehow you will also be detached because of this. There is this inherent paradox because of Ketu and Sun, and yeah. So there is this risk of detachment, but I think you should just kind of forget it, and keep going in the direction that you're going. The only thing that we need to kind of cling on to is honesty and integrity. So Rahu in the fourth house, exactly on the opposite side, indicates disruption or challenges within the domestic environment. So there is this feeling of unsettled. Uh, the unsettled feeling kind of keeps lingering, right? So there is this less flow of energy inward in the sense, I mean, psychologically we are a little drained out, and we don't have enough capacity to kind of hold on to our uh, pained feelings or hard feelings. So what we need to do is just release a lot of all those things, and not be obsessed with what has happened. Instead, just kind of try and do your work, or focus on your own responsibilities, and see where your purpose lies. And the inner restlessness that we are talking about will naturally go off, because the sun is the bridge between this being and becoming. Being is something that is internal, and becoming is what is external. Sun, as the atmakaraka, gives us this shape in terms of how we want to internalize our own self and identify our own self. But on the other hand, it is also important for us to kind of relate our inner self with the external self, and that is the process that we need to take on at this point. So this balance will most certainly be found during this period. So the themes would be recognition, and also kind of leadership with little bit of humility, and polished wisdom that kind of shapes our ambition over the next month or so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Somebody is asking for Scorpio job,
Yeah.
running Saturn Rahu Dasha. So see, job, you have to check where your Saturn is, okay, first of all. And you have to see 10th from 10th, like also, how is it? So if you check from here, the sun is transiting your 10th house. This is a very conducive phase for getting a job, if you're a jobless person. So this will be one parameter. Saturn is retrograde, which is your fourth and the third lord also. So it can bring about some delay. Maybe there will be some interview rounds that you can have, and then then you get through. But it is going to be a little slow process for you guys. Okay, what do you have to say, Ashwin?
Yeah, I think with
Saturn Rahu.
Saturn retrograde, I think with
Dasha is of
Saturn,
Saturn Rahu. Yeah.
and with Saturn retrograde in the fifth house, it's going to be a little draggy as far as job is concerned, and
It's
Mars
8
is
from the
also.
10th. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So job is also, I mean, with Mars, the Lord of the rising sign, also ruling the sixth house, is currently in the 11th house, which might kind of give us some hope. But Saturn is there on the other hand, opposing. So something that's kind of appearing to be coming, it's not coming, and that might continue for some time. But I think overall we need to wait for Rahu to kind of make further entry or progress into Aquarius and cross this Purva Bhadrapada and enter Dhanishta.
Yeah.
So, which will make a lot more sense, and things will clear. And by the time Saturn will also turn direct, and Mars will enter Scorpio, and things will change.
Okay.
And we are looking at like 2 or 3 months down the line.
Right, right. No, we have to see so many things, It is very difficult to
Yeah.
predict looking
Unless
at
there
just
is
one
Dasha
parameter.
charts. Unless the
Yeah.
chart is there, it's very difficult to say something just with transits.
Yes, not with conviction. Yes, we can say that, okay, this is a tentative phase.
Yeah.
See, I have seen with transit, 50% of the readings you can get, the predictions you can get. But what about that 50% which is left, So it is like a 50-50 thing for you guys. Okay. So make sure that you make decisions based on your chart consultation, not this chart consultation that you're taking online. Okay. This is not going to help you that clear. For day-to-day routine life, it's fine. When you look at these charts, they will definitely help you, but not to that great extent. Oh,
Yeah.
Sagittarius. All right. So for Sagittarius, this is the 9th house where Sun and Ketu are going to be together. And dharma, law, higher studies, long distance journeys, all this is the theme of the 9th house. Faith, basically, and religion. So this is good for honoring your elders and teachers. Okay. And as regards to your job is concerned, because we have a Ketu in the 12 places away from your 10th, this can bring about a loss of job also. If at all you were waiting for a job to it's like you have to study more, that way, skillful. You have to be more skillful, enhance yourself, upgrade yourself. And academic collaborations you can get into also when it is Sun and Ketu together in the 9th house. Take care of your sciatica, hips, joints, walk after flights if you're traveling, because it's the 9th house which is getting active. And also, maybe there will be some budget planning happening, if you're traveling. So you're going to be maybe now it can be that you decided that this maybe you thought that this will happen. Okay, $100 I'll spend and things will work in in your favor. But maybe instead of 100 you have to pay $150. So that kind of a difference can also be there. So it can swell, the budgets might swell. So ensure your trips also. And also in relationship, this can bring about some cross-cultural relationship warmth, or maybe some kind of respectful debates also. Okay. Prepare for brief wins when it is related to the authorities, and you must actually make a puja room or a prayer altar if at all you want to during this time period. Okay. Or clean it, declutter, because there are so many things on that altar that you need to really remove. And you need to redo that area for sure. Give some time to your mandir also, or your puja room, because you spend so much time there. You need to take hydration kits for your pets, and university counseling for your kids is also an important task that you're maybe doing it already, or you will, because Jupiter is looking at your lagna, Mars is looking, Saturn is looking. So there's a lot of malefic influence on this. So you need to take care of while driving, you need to take care while, if you have to purchase anything important. So you need to take a pause before getting into the purchases blindly. Okay. Also do long form learning, don't sermonize, and donate scriptures or law primers, and also recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om. So this is the recitation that you can do, the chanting of the mantra. Now, it's going to be in 3 nakshatras. The sun is going to be in 3 nakshatras of Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni. So connect with gurus, temples, but avoid guru wars. Okay. Online guru also you can meet, and learn something new. Purva Falguni will give you lecture tours, keep IP rights clear. When it is about publishing or something like that. And also, it is said that when sun will be in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, so you might just get that scholarship that you were waiting for. You will travel overseas also for studies. It is good for visa, PR, etc. also. Okay. Now there's an eclipse also not to forget in your ninth house. So this is like dharma, long travel, academia versus commutes and communication, because it's in the in your ninth house. So believe wars, last minute travel, gambles, all that can happen. Reveal the one qualification that really multiplies your impact. Okay, so this is what is the reading for the Sagittarius sign from my side. Ashwin.
So Sagittarius, the ninth house is active, so and Sun is very strong, which is the house of father or higher learning or philosophy or religion or spirituality, and also long distance journeys. Right. So this is a very, very, very auspicious placement for the Sun in the ninth house. But on the other hand, there is also this significator placed in its own house, causing some challenges in the same house. So it is important to take care of the father and fatherly figures, and the ninth house can also indicate the influx of fortune or blessings. But with Ketu in the ninth house, what you think might be 100%, you will receive only 50%. But still, that 50% will be enough for you to kind of understand and make use of what you have as resources in the best manner possible. So ninth house is also the house of dharma, so it is your job to kind of uphold righteousness, and it kind of illuminates your path uh, with righteousness. So there will be uh, tests here and there because of Ketu. There will be opportunities for you to kind of uh, you know do something wrong when no one is seeing, but you need to kind of do the right things even when no one is seeing. If you do the wrong thing, there is every chance that you will get caught. So the house of Bhagya, that is the house of luck, fortune, and blessings, and there will be this sense of purpose as we try to kind of seek the truth in whatever we are doing, or the seek reality, or to seek reality in whatever we are doing. So we connect with teachers, as Vanita ji mentioned, connect with mentors, connect with gurus and elders who can kind of basically inspire us to walk on the right path, and also maybe refine what we are doing. And on the other hand, you can also teach, like, which is another good thing. So with Sun in the ninth house, there is this natural ability to kind of teach and be as an authoritative figure, as suddenly our voice carries a lot of weight. So and there is natural kind of inclination towards philosophy, and now is the time for you to kind of take up some philosophical texts or spiritual texts if you have been kind of meaning to do so. And it's important to kind of note that your path may not be others' path. So don't impose that others should also take your path. Everyone has different path in their own lifetimes, and it's important for them to kind of travel their path and do their karma. And you also don't worry about other people's karma. And in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you do your karma even if it is only 10%, but don't do others karma even if it is 100% perfect. just do your own work and focus on your path, but don't impose, and also don't do anything for others. Everyone has their own things, and follow your own purpose and ideals.
Amazing. That was actually, well worded and wisdom. Wise words. So, okay. So, somebody asked about the countries which represent Libra. I think it is China, Canada, or Japan. I think so. I'm not too
uh,
sure of this, but yeah,
I have to check some
Libra.
medieval texts, but I can
Yeah,
do that.
please do. Yeah.
I just don't have it on the top of my mind, but I use it when I write my ingress articles for the Evolutionary Astrologer
Oh,
magazine.
okay, okay. Wow.
But
So
I
rest
can
of the
come back
questions we
with
can
that.
take towards the end because it's related
Yeah,
to Gemini and Virgo. So we'll take these questions later. So if you
yeah.
have any questions related to Capricorn, please pen down right now. Okay, just type it right now. Coming to the next one, that is Capricorn. Where did it go? 1 second. Okay. All right. So for Capricorn, this transit is going to be in your 8th house. Okay. So this is that month when you feel little low on confidence, or you start from scratch and then you have to, build yourself up. So don't get bogged down by the circumstances. People might just make you feel that you are not enough. So don't fall prey to these kinds of energies, please. It's good for shared assets, taxes, insurance, deep psychological acts. Also, it is good for compliance, if you have anything to do with audit. So be audit ready. Also, take care of your liver, pancreas, reduce stimulants or toxins during this time. Phishing identity will be at risk. Rotate passwords, change them on time. Emergency fund liquid, okay, keep it ready. And honest pact and slow trust rebuilding in relationships. That's the theme. Also, tax scrutiny clears with documents, and also hidden leak, plumbing at home, repair work. There can be something which is bothering you. You have been waiting for leave or holiday or something like that, and then maybe you find time. So do it. That is also definitely required. I don't like leakages in the house, because it leaks the finances also, and it's an emotional drain also. So immediately get your house is it's like 5 elements the house is, and you are also made up of 5 elements. So
yeah,
in anything that you have the cluttered or smelly or a bad odor, or we can say anything which is not right, it impacts your personal life also. Remember, your emotions get they suffer. The rest of the things in and around you, your kids, your family, everybody will suffer if you don't take care of your environment. 5 elements are always in sync, so this will be a reflection. Your house will be a reflection of you yourself. So take care of the plumbing repair work also. You will see that the moment you get this done, this is a remedy also for everyone. This will give you a lot of clarity about your finances also, and you will do really well in that as well. Okay. Then check the parasite checks as we do in the pets. You take care of your pets also. You take them to the veterinary doctor. And also, you have to teach your kids about the abuse. This is the time you should, because it's the 8th house, 4th from the 5th. So teach your kids about the bad touch, okay, if they are in that age group. Also, bodily autonomy and safety, is very much essential. Do the shadow work, don't snoop. Okay. Offer sesame seeds, black sesame or blankets to the anonymously to the ones who really need. Also go to the dog home, shelter homes, and just feed them. Okay. That is going to be really a very good thing to do also. Okay. I don't know why my chat stopped. Okay. Now, this is what. Now there is 3 nakshatras. This sun will be ingressing into crossing. So Magha, Purva Falguni, and Uttara Falguni. So legacy insurance claims may resurface when we talk about Magha transit. Purva Falguni, sensuality with shadow work, therapy clicks. Then Uttara Falguni, right wills, POA, and also encrypt financial documents. Fishing around 10 to 12th, be careful about your finances during that time. Change your passwords. Pindadana, charity to during the Pitru Paksh, is also very good upaya or remedy. Okay. Now we come to the eclipse. Now there is a lunar eclipse which is happening in your 8th and 2nd axis. So shared money, karma versus earning versus oblique voice. A claim, audit, or inheritance matter will flip. Okay. Release secrecy, unhealthy control, compulsive research spirals, reveal a truer wealth plan, and emotional pattern tied to earning. So that will be the key theme of the eclipse. Over to you, Ashwin. Actually, I have to rush, so that's why. Sorry about this.
Yeah, no problem. So, eighth house is active. Eighth house is the house of transformation and also kind of sudden events or something that is hidden in our lives. So it's not, sun doesn't do well in the eighth house, but remember that sun is placed in the eighth house of Leo where it is very strong. So this particular month is going to be extremely profound with Ketu. So there is going to be a lot of clarity. There's going to be a lot of insights which will redefine our inner self. The encounters or the events that we face in our life could be unexpected. It could be sudden. There could be some loss, but also there could be some inheritances that could come in because sun is very strong. And it is also important that we can gain some hidden knowledge or some knowledge that has been kind of skipping us or escaping us for a long time. So uh, things won't immediately be on the surface for us to look. We need to kind of dig a little deep. Even when it comes to work or learning or whatever it is, we need to spend a lot of time towards it. And sun, since this is the eighth house and sun represents Atman, there is this pure inner transformation that is needed. So we all have this fire burning inside, but it's important for us to kind of slightly readjust in terms of what we are burning inside. So sun is this Atman, which shows that we have vulnerabilities and it is time to burn those vulnerabilities from inside, nothing external. So this process can be quite liberating because it is in the eighth house, and sun is Agni, and Agni kind of purifies. It is time for you to purify your inner self with the wisdom of Ketu. So if there is any attachment that is kind of burning you away, and now is the right time for you to kind of burn that attachment away and stick to what is more important to you. So overall transformation is very important. Investigation or research purposes will shine, and occult knowledge, it can be possible. If you want to start doing some occult things, it is possible. Inheritance, other people's money, there will be opportunity to kind of deal with other people's money or resources. Be very careful about how you do that, and be open to kind of gaining spiritual or knowledge that is occult. And someone was asking, Capricorn good for sale? I think you need to wait until Mercury comes into Virgo, and Saturn is also retrograde, and Saturn is opposing Mars. And for land and everything, Mars is very important, and you don't need to do that when Mars is actually in Virgo where it doesn't function well. So you need to wait until Mars enters Scorpio and Mercury enters Virgo.
No, Ashwin, if Mars is in Scorpio, it will be 8th from the 4th. So 4th house will get active once Mars transits Libra. So that is 13th September to 27th October. That would be the right time.
Yeah, Libra is also fine. No, I was just focusing
no, I'm
on
just
dignity. Mars will be
dignity
dignified.
wise. Yeah, because right now Mars is aspected by Saturn, as you rightly said, and it is transit. It is looking at the 4th house also. So it is good for sale, but not for purchasing. So you can sell at a prime. Yeah.
And when Mars enters Libra, Jupiter will also aspect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jupiter will aspect where?
Mars in Libra.
No, but Jupiter will be transiting, no, not right now. Okay, Jupiter is in this. Okay, Jupiter will be also in 18th October. Jupiter will,
yeah. By then
October,
Mars will be there in Libra.
Yeah. So Libra is I think to be precise, Libra would be the right time. Libra, it is going to be, Mars is going to be in Libra from 13th September to 27th October. Yeah. Okay. So we move on to the next one, that is Aquarius, quickly. I think it is the longest video I've done with Ashwin. The maximum we did was 3 hours. So I think we've crossed that also today. So for Aquarius, 1 second, I have to change the chart. What happened? Okay. So for Aquarius, this transit is going to be in the 7th house, and the key theme is spouse, partner, treaties, public, okay, public life also. So when it's the 7th house, Surya, you must understand it is a debilitated place for Sun. But as I always say, minus, minus, plus. So it is conjunct Ketu, so it will give you very good results. The Sun transit will give you good results. So let the others also shine, help them. Because Ketu says help others, okay? So if you are having this Sun in here, so you can definitely, help others. You can launch your business also if you want to. Mirror work is required. Also, it is about joint ventures and clear your role and characters and, what exactly will you get in the partnership business. So do your paperwork, be intact, and, okay, everything has to be mentioned, because then, in future you can have issues because Sun is going to be entering your 8th house. So make things very clear from now itself. Take care of your kidneys, fluid, avoid heat exhaustion also. Joint accounts, 2-factor authentication is required if you are doing any kind of in relationship, or maybe a bank account you're opening. So you have to take care of your 2-way authentication. There is a likelihood of a hack. So be careful about that. Old scripts will dissolve. Choose fair, explicit agreements during this time period. Licenses, renewals, do it on time. Maybe there is some delay. You can be lazy, or maybe you forgot. So make everything, put it on your calendar that you have to pay your dues and whatever, your bills are. So you have to plan everything really well in advance, and you should know. Write them down if you can't calendar it that way. Okay. And also co-ownership terms in writing, especially related to property matters. Okay. And shared routines, co-parents, calendars, as regards to your pets and children. Okay. Do apology or repair. Don't litigate ego. Okay. Maybe, sometimes we have road rage, etc. So we have to be careful about those incidences also, which actually, I'm in Delhi, India right now, so I know how it is. So you have to take care of all that as well. So couple fast, light sattvic meal, and charity to elderly artists. These are the Venetian balance that you require. Also, it is going to be transiting through 3 nakshatras of Magha, Uttara Falguni, and Purva Falguni, and Uttara Falguni. So let the others shine, help them. Also, launches, weddings, events, guard against PR overreach when it is about Purva Falguni transit. Uttara Falguni, renegotiate terms, add mediation or morality clauses. Okay. Now there is a eclipse which is happening in your 1-7 axis also. So 7th house is the eclipse when moon transits through here on the 7th of September. Now this is a time when your partnership contracts versus personal path. What do you really want? Do you want to do solo business, or you want to do it in partnership? You want to marry, you don't want to marry? All those question marks will be there. So just wait for the eclipses to get over to get clarity, because the other eclipse is going to be in your 8th house when Sun transits. So it is not the right time to decide. And this is a wheel which is very thin with the ancestors also. So it's better that you worship your ancestors, you honor your ancestors also during this time. Performative detachment, that is the release, win, lose, lawyers. Okay. Reveal the mirror who have the, you have to see what you want to become, and that too with the help of others. Don't do for others, but with the help of others, change yourself and get better. Okay. What a fair deal now looks like. And also, you can do the fasting if you want to. And also you can be more charitable to the hospitals or the old age homes. That is the key theme. Okay. Over to you, Ashwin. Unmute. No problem.
Sorry. So 7th house, you mentioned a lot of things in Aquarius. So 7th house, the house of partnerships, relationships, or marriage. And more importantly, I think seventh house is this mirror, right? Like what we do or what we give comes back to us, and it kind of shows how we interact with others, and what qualities we attract in those people who we meet in our life, and all those things will come into prominence with Sun taking the center stage in its own territory in Leo, seventh house. So the shift is towards the relationships and how we kind of share our lives with other people, and again, so the domination of other people will kind of come into forefront, and this might manifest in more than one way. So on the positive side, it is good that we are taking this leadership role in the relationship, and which can potentially end in a positive way, or inspiring the other person into our life, and we are suddenly becoming very receptive and accepting of what a partner wants. But on the other hand, there is this other challenge that kind of ignites this dynamics of ego, where we try to control our partner, although we don't intend to do that. Maybe the other person feels that way. So again, for Sun, it's very important for us to kind of tone down and be a little subdued, and a little bit humble, and let the other person shine, as Vanita ji said. So the giving up is not actually giving up. Giving up is sometimes growing up. So I think that is something that we need to inculcate. So there is this need for equality and fairness, and seventh house being this house of partnership, it is not about competition, but it is about companionship. So be sure that you kind of treat people well and try to
Amazing phrases you're using today, Ashwin. Bravo.
I don't know.
Nice.
I think I'm coming back from this teaching this class, and I'm fully pumped up.
Yes. Good,
So,
good.
yeah, yeah, I think it's a mirror of what we are doing, and it is important that we kind of continue to treat people well, be it influential or be it uninfluential. I think everyone is same, and there is this need for equality with Sun and Ketu coming together. There is this headless Ketu and very heady Sun. So there is this two invariably proportional planets that are sitting together, and hopefully this brings some kind of balance in the seventh house. As you mentioned, positive, I mean, negative and negative kind of turns positive. So at least let's hope that there is break even or balance for Aquarius rising natives. I think overall it's good. Fifth house, Jupiter, Venus, and Venus will move into the sixth house, but Jupiter is still in the fifth house, where people will have enough access to information, especially that supports their creative pursuits. And eighth house Mars, be a little careful about where you want to go and what you want to do, and be aware of some things are very sudden, and don't be surprised by it. But overall, I think it's a reasonably okay-ish period.
Great.
Pisces.
See, somebody is asking about this minus plus thing that I mentioned. Sun is losing Digbal in a way, and Sun is not Digbal, but it is descendant place. Okay.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah. So it is with Ketu, okay, but it is in dignity because it's in its own zone. But at the same time, if it is for progeny, we have to see Jupiter, we have to see fifth house. If you are looking at the second baby, let him grow, let her grow, and then we see the seventh house condition, because that's a sibling house for the first baby. So for you, fifth house will remain your house, for kids, for all the kids. So you have to see from the fifth house, that becomes the sibling of the fifth house child, So that is, Jupiter is in dignity. So if you are having anything to do with progeny, childbirth, etc., so this is a conducive phase, I would say. And if it is when Sun goes into your eighth house, even then it is not bad. Okay, so just relax. If you are if you have conceived, if you're on the delivery, you're closer to the delivery time, so no tension at all. Don't worry about the eclipses, nothing doing. Just be charitable. The more you give, the better you get. And the best thing would be if you are doing it for the children. If you can just go and donate to the kids, it's the best remedy I can prescribe. Okay.
One more quick point about the negative, positive. So it's Sun is in the west in the setting place, and Sun is strong. If it is Sun rising, that is the better place. Sun in a setting place is naturally weak, and that's why Sun is falling in Libra, and seventh house is a setting place. It is not necessarily bad, because here sun has dignity, but symbolically it indicates something is setting. That is the thing, but nothing necessarily bad. Don't confuse the idea of but overall it is positive. That's the point that we are
Yes,
trying to make. Yeah.
yes. No stress. If you're pregnant, no stress, I would say. Just relax. And also, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He is the one who will take you out of all the problems. Remember, he is there. Okay, so leave it on to him. All the best. Coming to the last sign. Finally, we have reached the last lap. Pisces. Okay, I really pity Pisces because they keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and their number is towards the end. So once we'll do,
Reverse.
reverse.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I
start
think
from
we
Pisces.
should. I think we should do that. That's
Yes,
fair.
yes. Let's give them some benefit, also. So for you guys, it's the sixth house transit. Sixth house is a good placement for Sun, but it is with Ketu. So take care of your health. That's what I can say, and it is also a good time to beat your rivals. Any kind of competition, anything to do with your competitiveness or anything to do with your health. If you have been experiencing anything, now this is going to give you that cure, because Sun is Dhanvantari also, as we all know. So he will give you that healing ability also. Or maybe you will learn yourself a healing, some kind of subject that you want to learn. Now this is going to help you also. And also beat the rivals and not personality. This can give you some inflammation in the stomach region. Hydrate yourself well, keep yourself hydrated, and also water, air filters also, you have to keep them under check. Eat well and drink lots of water. And financially, if you have any debts or loans that you have taken, now you'll be able to pay them off, and automate your bills. As I said, earlier also, it is very difficult to calendar or anything. Just automate them. These days, that's working fine, and it's no problem at all. Just keep it out of your head that it is going to be hacked or something. Though I myself have been conned once, but something which is very authentic, you can just trust. Go to that site and do it. And also, act of service is required. Speeches, maybe you educate someone, help someone, heal someone. So this is through the speech or act of service with the way you can, because Sun exalts in the second house. So you can be a good communicator also, that authority communication. So people will definitely listen to you. And also fix the leakages at home. I always tell everyone, organize your utilities. Don't have that laundry thing going on and on, piles of laundry. So just do it and put an end. And deworming for your pets is required. Okay, and take the pets to the veterinary this month also. Vaccinations, etc., should be on time. Get into the sports and fitness routine. If you're a student, or if you're the mother or the father, tell your child to get into that routine rather than sitting on the screen. Lesser screen time, the better it gets. Do the checklist, don't multitask, don't get burnout. And also you can recite, I would say, okay, what mantra should I give? Okay, you can recite Surya. Om Grini Suryaya Namaha. Okay, Om Grini Suryaya Namaha. Om Grini Suryaya Namaha chants. This is going to help you also. And you can also donate something to two-colored, clothes to the needy also. Okay, now there are 3 nakshatras this Sun is going to be transiting through. So take commands when it is Magha, take commands of routines, lead a relief drive. Purva Falguni would be indulgence creeps in, sweet limits, sleep hygiene. All this you have to follow. Don't eat too much sweets, as I said. Uttara Falguni, I've given the dates in the beginning part. I'll give the dates in the description box also. Don't worry. Big chance of defeat, debt, competitors. Document every process. Okay. And also, you can donate on Mondays, of curd rice, or you can recite Om Triambakam Yajamahet Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukumeva Vandana Vityu Mokshi Amanta. You can recite the whole chant, not just this word. This is not complete, okay? So we have to recite the whole chant. Whenever you do the Shani mantra, you should recite the whole chant, complete chant. Then we come to the eclipses. Okay, so it is going to be in your 6th house. So you need to take care of your duty, health versus rest and solitude. You might just feel that you have to travel, you're not able to. This might just give you the traveling also, but it's better that you avoid the 7th of September, for travels if you can. Otherwise, it's okay. In and around eclipses times, we do feel a little heavy, on energies. So don't get overworked, and it can lead to tiredness and burnout also. Also, leaky boundaries, release that. Reveal the precise habit and precise rest that normalizes your system. Okay, that is the key. And the best thing is Om Gan Ganapataye Namo Namaha, because it's Ketu energy also in your in your sixth house. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Over to you, Ashwin.
Thank you so much. That was extensive. Sixth house, the house of health, or debts or diseases, or enemies or service, and artha, daily service or objective, the work that we do. So there is this inherent indication of struggles or obstacles that we might face in our life because of this. So sun kind of lights up the struggles and all those things, but on the other hand there is this neutralizing factor, Ketu, which acts as this malefic in Upajaya, which gives us this enough strength to overcome those obstacles. So uh, it kind of gives this courage to face the opposition or enemies or challenges directly head on without kind of trying to shy away from what we are doing. We'll be having enough strength to trust our abilities, and the competition will suddenly start feeling weak. So there is potential for legal issues to kind of slowly kind of crop up a little bit, but overall I think things will be fine. Conflicts might arise, but there is no need to worry, as sun is very strong. And also Ketu in Leo is naturally good for litigation and conflicts, for Pisces natives, especially if it is the sixth house. And also it indicates that we need discipline, especially from our physical self, where we need to kind of focus on our health, and where we need to strengthen our lifestyle, and you know eliminate whatever that kind of weakens our vitality, because sun is vitality. So poor sleep or irregular sleep and poor eating routine will cause challenges during this period. So if there is any imbalance or disorganized attitude in that particular ground, I think it is important for you to try and course correct. And yeah, escapism is not the route. You have to kind of face the challenges head on. There is no doubt about it. Giving can be very peaceful and liberating at this point. So if you have the ability to give, it doesn't have to be money. It can be anything. It can be knowledge. It can be any form of service that you can give people. If you have the ability to give something at this point, I think now is an excellent time to kind of do that. And overall victory, but for that patience and persistence is very, very necessary. So awareness of health and regaining vitality is the key theme of this period for Pisces. But overall, with Jupiter, Venus in the fourth house, although Saturn is in the first house, we have Jupiter in the fourth house, and Venus is quickly moving into the fifth house, Mercury in the fifth house. All this is very good. Like, there is good comfort with Jupiter in the fourth. There is going to be good creative and entertainment with Venus, and Venus going to enter Cancer and join Mercury. That is also going to be good. Mars in the seventh house can bring a little bit of friction as far as relationship is concerned. But I think with Venus and Mercury conjunction in Cancer, things will slowly change as far as uh, you know our relationship with people are concerned. So I think that's it for Pisces. Overall, it's a decent period, except that focus on self and health is of paramount importance.
Absolutely correct. Thank you so much, Ashwin. Now we are going to be taking quickly the questions, and if you have any, please ask quickly. And I'm going to be taking up the question that we could not take up earlier. That was for Gemini ascendant, right? That was the first one, or we did it? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
So, isn't it Isabel? Gemini ascendant, Jupiter Dasha, Venus Antardasha. I have apartment and justice took me in Ketu Antardasha in 2023. Now I am in Venus Dasha, Antardasha, but I don't see yet. See, for your litigation, etc., you have to see the condition of your sixth house, okay? And we have to also see if there is any positive graha looking at that area as well. Now, in your case, Mars has been under affliction. So now you will get little better. Mars was looking at your sixth house also. So I think this is going to be a better phase. What do you think, Ashwin, when Jupiter transits through the Cancer sign, will be looking at the sixth house, she'll get relief?
Yes, I think so. Because second house is also the house of possession and grasp.
Yeah,
So
correct.
when Jupiter is exalted there, I think it will be
Hmm.
good.
Much better,
And
right?
yeah, much
Hmm.
better people. Yeah, it's
Okay,
bright.
so the next one is one sec. Virgo, I think, was asking. Yeah, I have a Saturn. One second, let me put up the Virgo chart. I have Saturn in the seventh house. Recently, partner left me. Are there chances of reconciliation in the coming months or years? Even see, you have to understand that the Lord of whenever the Lord of the fifth is transiting the seventh house, there are breakups, which is a very important sutra. Though it is a dharma and it's a it's a what do you call it? Fifth and the it's a dhana yoga, it's a raja yoga, because fifth lord in the it's a trine and the kendra connectivity, but
Yeah.
it is retrograde also. So if you have to reconcile with the partner, even the partner's horoscope is required, and so is yours. But yeah, surely if we see from here, there is no such grace on the fifth house, and Jupiter and Venus are also not in dignity. So once Jupiter transits your 11th, Venus transits your 11th, things are going to get better. Either of these two grahas, especially Venus will be looking at your fifth house. I think, what do you think,
Yeah, the
that will be a
situation
better
might
phase?
change. The
Situation might
situation
change.
might change, but I
Yeah,
don't. I think I would wait for Saturn to kind
get
of turn
direct.
direct until it completely changes. The
Correct.
shift will happen, but yeah,
Mm. Correct. That is what. Sun doesn't like being in the seventh house, regardless of sign. Yes, it isn't. See, what is happening? Whatever said and done, you are at home. Okay, your home is leaking, your home has some problem, maybe there's a dampness, there is some seepage, there is a stinking smell coming from your house, but it is your own place, isn't it? It is your dwelling place. So it is much better as compared to someone else's place you're living in. So seventh house sun is not that bad, for one more reason, that there is a Ketu who's fixing the house. Okay, it's like some labor is there in the house fixing, and you are a little unstable, or you're not having that kind of comfort. So that is the only difference. You can just take it in that way, that okay, if it's so, it is going to get better for you. Okay. Please don't see that it is going to be bad for you, Leo natives, because um, I've seen Leo natives are feeling really, really miserable these days because Saturn is transiting the eighth house. So they think that this is the end of the world. It is
no.
not. It can give you some health issues. That is more important to keep a check on, rather than giving up on the circumstances that you're involved in. Maybe you don't have a job, you lack money, you don't have your savings, etc., etc. So if the health is good, I think you should thank God for that also. It's perfect. What do you think, Ashwin?
Yeah, I think it is also an opportunity to kind of accept that the realities are changing and people need to
Right.
embrace the newer realities, and their inner transformation should kind of, take
Yes.
place with Saturn in the eighth
Uplift
house.
them. Yes, that is
Yeah, it is
uplift
going to
them.
be an
Yes.
uplifting period. It might be a little frustrating now, but I think
Yes.
overall it's quite uplifting. So reality is changing, and quickly our mind will start accepting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone is asking, Scorpio ascendant. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Scorpio ascendant and Leo moon, is it okay to join your organization in September? See, there, you should not have, if it is in your hand, then of course, please wait. If it is not, what can you do? Go for it. If it is the divine cosmic plan, just go for it. Don't even think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Your Lagna, Taurus, Moon,
So,
Sun, Dasha, and buying property. Okay, great. Thanks for the feedback.
good.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, everyone, for being here, watching us live.
Thanks.
Thank you. And thanks,
Thanks.
Ashwin. Everyone, please thank him.
Yeah.
And he's running beautiful courses, enroll. And there are already so many students who are taking courses. I vouch for this. I can vouch
Thank
for
you.
this. He's amazing. And
More
do
importantly, I
next time.
send weekly newsletters. I send
Oh,
at least
wow. Yes.
4 to 6 newsletters in a month,
Wow.
and I cover a lot of transit materials. So if
Lovely.
people like reading, And I don't sell products on my newsletter, so you can no spam.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. So they can subscribe and take the magazine,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah,
That's great.
just have to go to my website and submit their email. So
Please
every time I
tell them
send,
your
they'll
website once
receive.
again.
It's www.theabverdict.com.
abverdict.com. Yes. So thank you, Ashwin. So we meet again next month with an elaborate video, and promise we'll start from Pisces. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, in
Pisces.
reverse.
Take care,
Okay.
everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Om Tat Sat.